Are you serious? We've got one on hold already? Oh, what the hell? It's Tom from Lutz. Tom, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
I wanted to discuss this. Yeah. And I'd heard, yeah. And I'd heard, as after the, and I'd heard, as after the, yeah. And I'd heard, his,
We love Tom's calls. They're always so succinct. 9 minutes after the hour of 12 noon. A very good Tuesday, too. Very special day. October the 25th, 1988. Man, I can hardly believe this. I know that this hasn't slipped past my audience, but I came in here this morning expecting to see balloons and bunting and cakes and festive dishes of holiday candy and things of that nature for this very, very special day. But outside of Michael Serio, there wasn't one person amongst the dullards that I work for and work with here at this radio station, not one person amongst those dullards who realized that today was the annual Brain Damaged Snowbird Return Day. Yes, October 25th, 1988, the first day following the full moon in October, is Brain Damaged Snowbird Return Day. It's an annual event. It's one that we all look forward to. I'm sure that most of you sitting out there are wearing party hats with noisemakers and ready to take part in the celebration today on the air. It's a day that all permanent Floridians look forward to. I mean, you know that as well as I do. How could these buffoons that I work with, how could they, I mean, even on the FM side, I would have thought for sure on the FM side that, maybe Harris would have done something special today for the annual Brain Damaged Snowbird Return Day, or as we say around here, ABDSBRD. But everybody forgot it. I mean, how can we put into words the sense of loneliness that we have all experienced all summer long without our friends, the northern visitors? There are no words to describe it. I don't think there's one person in all of Tampa Bay who have forced, you stop them on the street and say, can you express your sense of loneliness that you have felt all summer long without our brain-damaged snowbird friends? I don't think there's one of them that could put together a cohesive sentence. Not one. Well, okay, here's a call coming in now, a guy that says he can. Okay, Tom from Lutz.
I wanted to discuss this.
The brain
damage. And I'd heard,
the brain damage.
And I'd heard, as after the, and I'd heard, as after the, and I'd heard his.
Well, who could put it in better terms than Tom from Lutz? I mean, he probably expressed the sentiments that each and every one of you are feeling on this very, very, very special day, October the 25th, first full day after a full moon, annual Brain Damaged Snowbird Return Day. I mean, just this morning, the very first day of the season, just this morning I was, kind of wandering out along the driveway looking for the newspaper. And this Winnebago cruising past the house very slowly suddenly opened the door. A withered arm reached down, scooped up my morning newspaper. At that point, there was a squeal of rubber, a puff of smoke, and the damned Winnie took off down the street in a blur. Indeed. I came back in the house. Mary said, do you have the paper, honey? I said, no, my love. She said, oh, did that miserable carrier forget to leave the paper again? I said, no, my love. The brain-damaged snowbirds are back. I mean, in celebration, 7-Elevens all over the area have started to pass out Canadian quarters, as is their custom every season, to remind us that our winter friends have arrived. Once more, the land is alive with joyful voices calling out, B-21, I-15, N-33, G-5, O-22, bingo! In other parts of this great country of ours, residents look forward every fall to a few brief days when the trees turn a bright orange or a bright red. We in Florida are blessed with 6 glorious months of Michigan Blue license plates. I mean, I'd take 6 months of Michigan Blue license plates over 3 or 4 days of a tree on fire with color, wouldn't you? Michigan Blue meandering ever so cautiously in front of us on the interstate at about 31 miles an hour. In a few of the far northern extremes of this country, local citizens must travel with caution while walking in the woods at this time of the year, for fear of stumbling upon a hibernating bear. Not in Florida. In Florida, the woods are safe to walk in, but caution must be used while walking in a Kmart parking lot for fear of disturbing a hibernating brain-damaged snowbird sleeping overnight in his Winnebago. Area physicians look forward to this time of the year. They look forward to the winter season as they so enjoy the informative lectures provided by their northern patients on the benefits of socialized medicine back home in Ottawa. Construction workers along the new Howard Franklin Bridge enjoy posing for pictures snapped by brain-damaged snowbirds who stop on the existing bridge to capture a memory on film to take home and show to the grandchildren next summer.
Ah, you see, that's a construction worker. They're building a bridge. That big thing in the background's a pile driver.
Area waitresses and waiters look forward to the helpful suggestions provided by our visitors on how much better the service is at the Toledo Bob Evans. Drive-in bank tellers all over the area look forward to cashing out-of-town checks and being shown snapshots of all the children back home in Indiana passed through the tube. Area beauty salons stock up with 55-gallon drums of blue tint to give their brain-damaged snowbird customers that natural look. Local residents fed up with a summer-long display of tanned, firmed bodies down at the beach eagerly look forward to bony varicose-veined limbs that will soon be dominating the beachscape. Lovers of polyester and Dacron, sick to death of a summer-long display of natural fibers, delight in the arrival of the winter visitors with their colorful garb. A plethora of screaming yellow sleeveless tops worn by fat women over purple stretch pants, accented with fire engine red sandals worn with support hose. Red and green plaid walking shorts worn with white fruit of the loom undershirts topped off with a jaunty pair of black wing-tipped Oxfords and Argyle socks. Those of you who like to meet new people like to wander around the Zales parking lot, chatting with our northern visitors sitting in their cars awaiting the return of their mates shopping inside the store. That's always exciting. Convenience store clerks enjoy discussing the virtues of the Pennsylvania State Lottery as compared with our own. Talk show hosts enjoy being asked if they know Stanley Stepankevich, a local personality who runs the Saturday morning swap shop back home on WFARM, AM 1590 in Decatur.
You really don't know Stanley? Does a fine show. What time's the swap shop on this station?
Most of us wonder how we got along all summer without being informed of the daily highs and lows in Muncie, Indiana on the evening forecast. It's been almost 6 months now since a caller checked in to inform us that he personally knows Congressman Henry Hyde and that he is indeed a mighty fine representative and that we would do well to have his kind of representing down here in Florida. It's been at least 6 months, right, Michael, since anybody said, I know Henry Hyde. He's a fine man. Already the office pool has been formed to guess the exact date and time that one of our winter visitors will call me a young whippersnapper. I always look forward to that, too. Another pool is being formed as we speak to guess the date and time of the season's first Philly being uttered over the airwaves. Why, only this morning, the first tanker truck full of prune juice was spotted coming south on I-75. Next Monday, ladies and gentlemen, the business section of the Tampa Tribune will drop its stock market tables and replace them with quotes from the Wisconsin Cheese Exchange. Ted Webb's Sports Huddle will cease covering the National Football League and will replace that coverage with shuffleboard reports. Area music lovers await the highlight of the winter season with the arrival of the out-of-state high school marching band parade conducted for the enjoyment of all through the streets of St. Petersburg. Hundreds, yes, ladies and gentlemen, hundreds of volunteers as we speak in Plant City have started to pre-chew the strawberries so that all will be in readiness for the annual festivities over there. Construction goes at a breakneck speed for the completion of St. Petersburg's blood pressure testing dome. Brain-damaged snowbirds will be pleased to know that it will be able to accommodate 43,000 at a time. And, of course, as a public service, as we do every year at this time, we pass along helpful tips and information, even if it is something that a competitor is doing. Radio station Q10 Jive this morning switched the name of the Q Zoo over to the Q Barnyard. WTKN, yes, WTKN, formerly WPLP, will have a very special program on at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Art Snow, who does Up Your Service, will be interviewing the author of How to Reduce the Moisture Content in Your Corn Crop. At 2 p.m., there will be a lively discussion on the art of being at the right place at the right time for the Blue Light Specials. We will also announce the arrival of our winter residents as they trickle into town. Why, this very morning, Fred and Prudence Haynes of Kankakee arrived. As we speak, they're airing out the Airstream. Wilbur and Mary Beth McDinton are in from Saginaw. Howard and Alice Bennington arrived from Harrisburg this morning, expected tomorrow. Albert and Sarah Jones from Iowa City. Randall and Ruth Roberts from Albany. We'll keep you up to date on those arrivals. Full-time residents, be advised. Be advised, write this one down because ignorance is no excuse of the law. Full-time residents, be advised that at 6 p.m. this evening, the winter ordinance goes into effect. That means this year, no radio or TV after the hours of 9 p.m. within a 4-block radius of a trailer park. None whatsoever. All children under the age of 17 must be sent to the special holding area in Hendry County. There will be no exceptions. All children, I repeat, under the age of 17 must report to the special holding area in Hendry County. You will be allowed to return home in May. The speed limit on the interstate has been reduced to 31 miles per hour. In town, that's 15 miles per hour. And this is very important. This is a new ordinance this year. All full-time residents must adhere to the minimum gratuity. The minimum gratuity this year has been raised to 40%, 40% of your total check to compensate for cheap brain-damaged snowbirds who leave no tip whatsoever. And it is required again this year that water and electricity be provided to any RV that pulls into your driveway with out-of-state tags. Also this year, the Heartline has replaced all bench seats on their buses with Lazy Boy recliners as a very special service to our brain-damaged snowbird friends. And to avoid delay at Publix, Publix supermarkets this year will sell a dozen jumbo eggs for the price of a dozen large eggs to anyone with out-of-state ID. This is very important. You don't have to stand there at the egg counter and switch eggs, jumbo to large, large to jumbo. Just take your carton of large jumbo eggs to the front desk for checkout, and you will only be charged the large price if you have out-of-state ID. Also, for the last time this season, your exclusive 970 WFLA AccuWeather forecast from meteorologist Kathy Francis says there will be plenty of sunshine with low humidity around here today. Currently 78 in Newport Richey, 73 in Plant City, 74 in St. Petersburg and Clearwater, 73 in Tampa. But, of course, let's get down to the really important weather forecast, the ones that all of our wintertime visitors are longing to hear. In Baltimore today, partly sunny. It'll be breezy, a little bit on the cool side with a high of 57, dropping down to 40 tonight. In Chicago, cloudy, breezy, raw with a high only of 43, dropping down to 35 tonight. Chilly winds are expected in Cleveland along with, are you ready, some flurries, a high of 43, low of 37. In Des Moines, cool but sunny today. It'll get up to 49 degrees, dropping down to 30 overnight. Tomorrow, by the way, in Des Moines, clouding up with a high of 49. Currently in Minneapolis, or make that Indianapolis, excuse me. I get the Minions and the Indies mixed up sometimes. Lots of clouds. It'll be breezy and on the cool side today. A high of about 48. It'll drop down to just about at the freezing point. I certainly did hope you covered the begonias before you headed south. Let's see. In Pittsburgh today, cloudy, breezy, maybe some snow flurries. The temperatures will range from a high of 43 to a low of 33. And last but certainly not least, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Early sun, but afternoon clouds today. A high of 41, dropping down to a very chilly 25 degrees. tonight in Minneapolis. Again, back to some of the public service announcements. Eckert's Drugstore has a very, very special this season. If you stop into your local Eckert's and buy a box of Polident, and very important, you must buy the Polident, and when you do, you will get a sunscreen of your choice rated at 36 or higher. There are, unfortunately, some spoil sports in this area. I am sorry to say there are some people who don't really and truly enjoy the sunbirds. Or snowbirds. Yeah, snowbirds, that's what they are. I'm sorry to report this, but the city of Indian Rocks Beach have once again removed all of the sand along the waterfront. That world-renowned mile-deep beach has now been replaced with a few yards of concrete chunks. They did the same thing last year. Local residents take note the sand will be replaced on May 15th. Morrison's Cafeteria have replaced the Chateaubriand with meatloaf, and the rack of lamb has been replaced with bread pudding. And the city of Clearwater Beach wishes to remind all full-time residents that it will continue to spread that rumor that the bridge leading into town from the south of Pinellas is falling down. But all in all, it should be a wonderful season for all the brain-damaged snowbirds, and the rest of you are encouraged to call in with your best wishes for them, and, for a successful visit, a successful winter, and to tell them just how much you have missed them all winter long. Perhaps we've even omitted some business owners out there who have some special deals to offer our winter visitors. If that be the case, please don't hesitate to call in and let us know about it. Or maybe some of you veteran residents wish to point out some things that brain-damaged snowbirds would enjoy taking in while they're here this winter. We, of course, will open our house, as Mary and I have done every year, to serve tea and cookies to any brain-damaged snowbird that drives by trying to look in our windows to see how the house is furnished, as well as we will, of course, continue to offer the free use of our bathroom to anyone that wants to go to the bathroom or take a shower. This is just a little wintertime tradition that Mary and I established about 3 years ago, and we will, of course, again, continue to offer that. So let me give you the telephone numbers. Carol in Carrollwood. Hi, Carol. You're on the air. 970 WFLA.
Hello?
Yes, Carol.
Yes, Mr. Lassiter. My husband and I this year became permanent Florida residents.
Oh, that's fantastic,
but before
Marvin.
that, we did come down for 4 winters to a condominium which we owned and paid taxes on to see if we liked the area. And everyone says that is the best way to move to a new place, is to not make it a permanent deal until you think this is where you want to spend a lot of the rest of your life. And if we probably, at that point, qualified as snowbirds. I don't know that we were brain damaged, though. We thought we were doing it the right way. And you mentioned something about people going to the supermarkets and trying to find the large eggs.
Well, no, it's not trying to find them. People used to go and switch the jumbo eggs into the large eggs to save a dime. Well, Publix, it's my understanding, well, we're trying to verify this, but it's my understanding if you have out-of-state ID, you don't have to switch them. Just bring up a lot of people were dropping eggs, and Publix figured it would be a hell of a lot cheaper to just sell the jumbos for the large price to people with out-of-state ID.
I suppose, though, that people that go into a market and buy, for instance, a package of pork chops, and, they are lovely on the side you see. You get them home, you unwrap them, and they look very scroungy when you see the other side.
Well, most of the brain-damaged snowbirds unwrap them right there at the store.
Well, we don't do that.
Actually, most of them take the price sticker off of the bologna and put them on the pork chops.
Well, certainly the cashiers are smart enough to pick that up, aren't they? They're Florida people. Yes. The other thing you mentioned was maybe you are directing your comments to people mostly in mobile homes, or do you think that anyone that lives here that wasn't here all year long or wasn't born here should go back?
Go back where?
Wherever they came from.
Well, there are those in the area who echo those sentiments.
Well, I wonder if they all did, and underline all, what would happen to Florida's economy?
What would happen to Florida's economy? Well, I imagine we'd have far less Wisconsin cheese dropped into the toll machines on the Crosstown Expressway.
You know, I think, I know you're exaggerating some of these things for effect, but something about...
No, madam, people do drop cheese into the Crosstown Expressway automatic toll collectors.
Well, okay. The other thing, you were talking about cars and so forth. I've noticed when we have come down here with our out-of-state plates on that when you go out to a parking lot or when you're driving along, the cars that look like they were well cared for, inspected, and a few things like that usually have out-of-state plates on.
I couldn't agree more. I saw a lovely 1967 Pontiac Bonneville four-door sedan at the Kmart last week, and yes, it was shining just like it had come off the showroom floor. There was some straw in the back seat. I'm not sure what that was all about. And yes, indeed, it had Indiana tags on it.
And then you see one of these wrecks that you wonder if it's going to make it to the next stoplight. Look, it's got a Florida plate on.
That's right, ma'am. It's one of the great problems you see if you live in Florida. Your automobile insurance is very, very high. The reason for that being is that in order to avoid hitting 1967 four-door Pontiac Bonnevilles with Indiana plates, making a left-hand turn from the right lane, a lot of us tend to run into telephone poles and up onto sidewalks and smack into buildings and stuff like that.
Thing. I've seen Florida drivers do even worse. They'll stop dead in front of you.
Well, I know exactly what you're talking about, but you see what happens is a lot of people from Indiana and Michigan and Illinois, they come down here and they get Florida tags so that they can get the homeowner's exemption on those condos that they buy.
Yeah.
And they appear to be Floridians, but actually they're brain-damaged snowbirds only here for the winter with Florida tags so they can get the homeowner's exemption.
Well, see, we didn't do a lot of these dumb things. But so that's why I sort of resent being lumped. There are lots of people here that came from the north that aren't brain damaged. And I know that a lot of the companies down here...
Yeah, Michael, you're from what?
Rochester, New York.
I was asking my producer. You're New Jersey or something, right?
No, New York, Rochester.
And I think Brad James comes from somewhere up north, too. Yeah, there is quite a number of people here from the north who are not brain damaged.
And I know that a lot of your employers, for some reason, have, advertised up north for employees. For some reason, they think that we seem to have a little bit more on the ball, are a little bit better educated, and so forth. And so when I hear you go off on your monologue this morning, I said, I've got to at least get my expression of ideas on his program.
Well, you see, one of the reasons that they advertise up north is that people up north don't realize how much it costs to live down here, and they're living up north with the false impression that it's very inexpensive to live here.
Well,
so it's becoming more and more difficult to get people to work for $3.35 who live in Florida.
Yes.
And they have found it much easier to get people from Wisconsin or Indiana to come down and work for that kind of money.
Yeah. A lot of people, though, will do it just to get out of the northern climate. And some people have health problems that they are improved if they come here. And I know that when people drive into Florida on 95, they seem at the Welcome Center glad to see you.
Well,
they give you a glass of orange juice.
Well, you see, the state of Florida had a terrible problem with people from the welcome centers being rather rude and abrasive for quite some time. So what they did is they started hiring people who live across the border in Georgia. Yeah, so that's why all of those people...
Southern hospitality.
Right, though all those people seem so happy that you're coming into Florida, they really and truly are.
That's because they live in Georgia.
They live in Georgia, right.
Well, most people that we've met down here...
And that orange juice comes from Brazil.
Oh. They seem to be glad that we came anyway, and we are.
Well, we're all glad. This is, of course, the annual Brain Damaged Snowbird Return Day. All of us in Florida look forward to it every year.
Yeah. Well, you seem to say that rather tongue-in-cheek, though.
No, ma'am.
No?
No, ma'am. My tongue is firmly outside of my mouth when I say that.
Well, I just, I think that there's two sides, let's put it that way.
Yes, indeed, there are.
And there are a lot of people come here from Canada, and it costs them a lot more to come here than it did us, for instance.
Well, it costs some of them a lot more to come here. You see, those of them who are foolish enough as to, change their money into American money, yes, it costs them a great deal more, but those of them who bring down the Canadian-denominated traveler's checks and pass off Canadian quarters spend the same amount here as they would back home.
Yeah. And you mentioned tipping also. I know that my husband is always very generous tipping, and the waitresses even usually come back and thank him and, say, please come again.
Well, that's because most of them are startled that anything was left.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I guess maybe I don't go to the right places. we live in Carrollwood, and I stay pretty much in Carrollwood.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I don't see some of the things you're talking about.
Well, you will notice, for example, as the season progresses, now that you're going to be here all year long, you will notice, for example, next summer, that you will find tablecloths on most of the tables in various different restaurants around the area. Most of those places take them off for the winter because, well...
No place I go takes them off for the winter.
A lot of people steal them.
Oh, well, no. Any of the places that we go for a real meal
use them for shades on their Winnebagos. Mm-hmm.
Tablecloths. But, you know, my husband was a golfer, and when he retired, it's very difficult to play golf in Rochester in the winter.
Yes, indeed it is. You have to use orange balls.
Well, and lots of warm clothes, which makes it hard to play golf.
Mm-hmm.
But it was very nice talking to you.
Very nice talking to you, Carol.
Okay.
Take care. Ken, somewhere roaming around Palm Harbor on a car phone. Ken, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
I'm a salesman out on the road, and I just so love the migration of snowbirds to the area.
Oh, isn't it great? Every fall, the roads just fill with this vivid blue.
Yes.
Michigan license plates.
But I'm prepared for them this year.
Prepared for them? What do you mean?
Well, I picked up this little device that's called a snowbird eliminator.
A snowbird eliminator, yeah.
And I want the snowbirds to beware.
Well, what does the snowbird eliminator do?
Well, it's a little device that you use in your vehicle, and when the snowbirds... of course, we know that that there's a state law that guarantees them the right-of-way in every situation.
Well, of course. I mean, what else would you expect for your out-of-state visitors?
But just to welcome them, you see, this little device, when they happen to make one of their beautiful driving maneuvers that's worthy of competition and entry in the St. Pete Grand Prix, you just press one of these darling little buttons and...
Well, you know, Ken, a lot of people in Florida think that we should do down here what they do in New York City, and that is, of course, eliminate all parking fines for people with out-of-state tags.
Well, that's true.
Or that we should do what they do in Pennsylvania, and that is, of course, eliminate all moving violations for people with out-of-state tags, because, of course, they're not familiar with the area.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we should accommodate them, but...
I mean, many people who come down here for the winter are startled, absolutely startled to find out that it is not custom to back up on the interstate in case you missed your turnoff.
Oh, no.
It is not custom to park your Winnebago on the median strip. And, you know, we have these very bizarre and peculiar DMV laws down here that, you know, a lot of people think should be waived for our out-of-state visitors. For example, going through a stop sign. I mean, you know, apparently they don't have stop signs in these other states. And, you know, it's just not fair.
Bob, we're just the epitome of rudeness, I tell you. We should roll out the red carpet and just let them... have at it.
I mean, a lot of people think that STOP stands for St. Pete takes off its fedora.
Well,
tips its fedora.
Do you think this snowbird eliminator is going to have any success?
None whatsoever, Ken. And I'm frankly very, very surprised and shocked at your very poor attitude toward our winter visitors. Ken, as of course you are aware of the fact, or you should be aware of the fact, that this entire economy would shrivel up, that Tampa, St. Petersburg, and Clearwater would be little more than, you know, truck stops were it not for the people who come down from Wisconsin, the people who come down from Michigan, the people who come down from Ohio, Indiana, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This place would just simply wither and die.
Oh, I know. They aid me in making a living so greatly. I really appreciate it.
I mean, obviously, the only other industry that we have here besides tourism are, you know, the Tampa Bay Bucks.
That's true.
And there's just nothing else here.
Well, I have one message for the snowbirds.
Yeah. I'm going to have to hang up on you, Ken. I simply cannot permit this rather sour attitude of yours to be heard over the airwaves.
Well, if you'd like one of these snowbird eliminators, Robert, I'll be glad to get you one.
I have two of them. Thank you, Ken. Let's go to Tom and Lutz. Tom, how do you feel about snowbirds?
I wanted to discuss this.
The snowbird.
I heard,
Snowbird. Yes. Yeah.
And I'd heard, as after the,
you heard,
as after the,
Well,
and I'd heard,
how do you feel? Oh, brother. It's rather typical, fall day in Florida. 78 degrees currently in Newport Richey. It's 73 in Plant City and in Tampa. 74 in Clearwater and St. Petersburg. In Calgary today, they're looking for partly cloudy skies, a high of 45 degrees, dipping down to 25 tonight. Montreal should see 46 before the afternoon's over, and an overnight low of 38 degrees, along with some snow flurries. All right, that, of course, brought to you by AT&T, that encourages you to call home and say ridiculous things to your friends back up north, like, hey, what do you think the temperature is here? Okay, let's go to Paul in Clearwater. Paul, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Well, happy BDSBRD.
Well, happy the same to you too, fella.
Right, I just had my cake. Well, look, we have a neighborhood get-together up here in Clearwater, right across from Countryside High on McMullen Booth Road. We set up a building. It's a white building.
Yeah.
We put out grapefruit trees and orange trees, and we've got shrubbery out there. Our families have even put on blue uniforms. And
that's fantastic.
Yep, we got these white cars out there, and some.
It's really a tragedy that more neighborhoods in this area don't do what you folks do up there.
And we're inviting all the snowbirds to come over and take clippings off the lawn there, and pick up parts of the building, and we'll turn on the blue lights on those cars.
Do you have extras? Do you have extra large windows so that they can peer into them?
Oh yeah, we want them to do that. We want them to even come in and to start taking some of the furniture if they want. And
great.
That would save our neighborhood. And our family members in the blue uniforms will be happy to help them into the rooms to be alone, and it's just great. And we just want them all to come up here across from Countryside High.
You do, of course, have extra bathroom facilities available.
Couple
indoor showers.
Well, no, but they can go outside. We have a hose.
Well, it still is fairly warm, but you really should, as the season progresses, it gets too cold to shower outside. You really should put heated indoor showers for them.
Well, we might put up some paneling or something outdoors and just kind of hang a hose over it.
Well, paneling is very important because many of our brain damaged snowbird friends, of course, are very, very modest people.
This is true.
And it's just not quite the same showering with all your clothes on as it is with them off.
Oh, we have coin dispensers to get those little plastic bottles of shampoo out. We take Canadian quarters.
Okay, I was going to say, they are set up for Canadian quarters.
We have a Canadian quarter slot. We have a slug slot, and if they really want to be nice and pay with real money, we have one that'll accept real American money.
Well, that one's probably rusted over by now.
Well, yeah, and really, we've got about 28 cents out of that. Somebody tried jamming pennies in there. We got a lot of slugs, though.
Good.
Yeah, we melted those down, and we made a gazebo. And we want them to come out there and start taking the shrubs.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but Palm Harbor this year, they have decided to take all of the slugs and at the end of the season send them over to a smelter, get them melted down, and then cast into a special memorial for brain-damaged snowbirds that will be unveiled next season.
You just gave me an idea now. Maybe the slugs that we get this year... see, Carol didn't tell you how fast they build roads and bridges in wherever she's from, New York. That's something
Syracuse, I believe it was, or Schenectady, one of those places.
Rochester, I guess.
Rochester, yeah. Well, it's hard to tell the difference in the winter.
That's right. We always hear how fast they can do road work up there, and how fast they can build bridges up there, and how fast they can move traffic up there.
Well, sure, it's because the roads are only a half an inch thick. I mean, they can lay those suckers down 4 or 5 miles a day.
Well, I'm going to donate these slugs we get this year to the Sunshine Skyway Refurbishment Fund. We might be able to get that up faster for them.
Oh, hey, that's a fantastic idea.
Or maybe Sand Key Bridge needs it better, though. I think that's falling apart. Although I'm not sure. I haven't been over there in a while.
I mean, I'll bet that you're just as pleased as I am, because every fall I look forward to them putting up that bridge that supposedly fell down for the tourists to look at as they're going over the new one.
I love it.
I mean, it just doesn't seem the same in the summertime without that bridge there.
I think they're waiting, though. They're trying to figure out how to destroy it without hurting the foundation of the other bridge. And now maybe they're going to wait.
Well, it's only paper mache. I mean, come on.
This is true. Maybe they're going to wait till the height of brain damage.
Did you ever wonder what they did with that warehouse that they keep it in over the summer? Yeah, what do they do with that in the wintertime?
I don't know.
They could turn that into a bingo parlor or something.
I live in Clearwater. Maybe somebody from St. Pete will tell you.
Possibly.
That is. Oh, Tom, we know when Tom from Lutz was on?
Oh, yeah.
At least he wasn't bitching about the Bowman Amendment.
Well, no, that's for sure.
Ever since your show Friday night, that's all I heard for 4 calls.
Oh, my goodness.
Unbelievable.
Son of a gun.
Maybe he'll call you.
Oh, he probably will 3 or 4 more times before the hour's over.
Maybe, you put 2 I's in that, or 2 A's in that, and an I you got something bad.
That's for sure.
Have a good day.
Take care there. Tom in Lutz. Tom, how are you?
I wanted to discuss this.
The snowbird issue.
And I'd heard,
It's its annual snowbird return.
And I'd heard,
it's an annual fair.
I'd heard, as after the,
It happens. It's the first day after the full moon in October. Thanks, Tom. Let's go to Terry in Clearwater. Terry, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Hi, Robert.
Hi, Terry.
I just had to call you today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a transplanted snowbird from Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
Not too proud of it, and just have to tell you.
What, Illinois you're not proud of? What's the matter with Illinois?
I'm from Chicago.
Well, it's a fine town. I like Chicago.
Anyway, your monologue today was great. Absolutely great. And please don't send me back up north, and I hope that Mary lets you get that Lincoln.
Well, there are very minor cracks in the facade, basically what you would call hairline cracks. It may take another 5 or 6 months, but, at some point along the game, she'll probably give in.
Oh, she'll break down. You're a great guy.
Well, that's true.
And have a great day.
Thank you, Terry.
And I'm going to watch out for all these snowbirds today.
Well, please do.
And if I go to the beauty shop, I'll say no blue.
Okay, and don't forget to shade your eyes if you're going outside. Those bright blue Michigan plates will really, it takes a couple of months to get used to them.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
Thanks, Terry.
Okay.
Of course, as is our custom all winter long at 12:53 in the afternoon for those of you from New York. You'll be happy to know that it's cloudy and kind of a gray day in Albany. It'll only get up to about 48 and all the way down to 33. Buffalo, 42 for a high today, 36 with snow flurries overnight. Oh, yuck. Coming up in the next hour, of course, we'll check out weather around the state of Ohio. All right. That's always a very popular one when we give the Ohio forecasts at 1:53 in the afternoon. John in Tampa. John, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, John.
I work for GT. I'm a cable man, and I've got an announcement for these snowbirds. First of all, our union made an agreement with GT that we no longer have to explain why the phone service isn't the same as it is up north.
Well, John, I don't think that's. I really don't think that's very hospitable to our friends from up north.
Yeah, well, see, they insist on a 2-hour explanation of this, and then that causes the next snowbird service to be delayed, and then we have to explain to him why we were late.
Well, John, you must understand. You've probably been here for quite some time, right?
Born and raised.
Well, you must understand they're used to 24-hour service.
I understand that. And also, they need to understand that we no longer offer 5-party lines. Plus, we don't give away phones and jacks anymore. We don't install extra loud bells anymore. We don't install amplifiers on their headsets anymore.
Well, you still do have the phones with the cranks on the side, right?
No.
No.
They're not going to be able to get them anymore either. And if they would please, when they see a GT truck pull up, don't insist on seeing an identification badge as well. I mean, it's getting real old. Pretty soon we're going to just have to refuse their service, and they're going to just have to do something else, I guess.
Son of a gun. This is amazing. I didn't know about all these changes over there at GTE.
Yeah. They need to know these things.
Well, hey, John, if it wasn't for the brain-damaged snowbirds, you'd probably be out of work, man, I mean, I assume that all summer long you just sit on your duff doing nothing, waiting for them to come down, right?
I didn't hear that, Bob.
Well, you guys do just, sit around the garage twiddling your thumbs all summer long without anything to do, right?
Well, our native coffee shops have got to do some business.
Well, of course. Okay.
Right? And, it's hard to do all that work plus listen to WFLA.
Well, maybe as a special service, you guys could get some of those, sliding panels that can be removed on the side of your New York bell, so they feel more at home,
Yeah, well,
they probably think GTE is, some kind of a communist phone company or something.
We are going to all have new bumper stickers this afternoon, which says we don't care.
Gorbachev Telephone and Electronics. Yeah, that's probably what they think it stands for.
Well, actually, we are going to have new bumper stickers on our trucks.
New bumper stickers? Yeah. Oh, yeah? What are they going to say?
They're going to say, we don't care how you did it up north.
Oh, that's a very poor attitude, John.
Well, you have to understand, First, you have to ask them to repeat what they're saying because they speak in such strange languages.
Mm-hmm. I mean, things like phooey, whippersnapper, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and it's got these accents like there's some
jingle,
some kind of from I don't know, some European country or something.
Well, do the best you can, John. I mean, these people are very important to us.
Yeah, we'll hang in there.
Okay, thanks, John.
Thank you.
Take care. Let's go to Tom and Lutz. Tom, you're on there at 970 WFLA. Where do you stand on this snowbird question?
I wanted to discuss this.
The snowbird. The snowbird.
And I'd heard.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'd heard
what is it that you heard?
And I'd heard after the
after what?
And I'd heard
time's running out, Tom. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to go to another caller. Let's make this one Ken in Clearwater. Ken, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Oh, Bob.
Yeah.
I just don't believe it. First of all, I walked by you in the hallway yesterday. You were sitting there, and I waved at you and waved back. But I am really disappointed today that you are not showing any compassion for these brain-damaged people who are coming down here looking for the better life.
What do you mean showing any compassion? I devote my entire show once a year, every day after the full moon in October, to welcoming the brain-damaged snowbirds back.
I've been listening to you since you've been here, and I understand and I appreciate that.
It's an annual event. People look forward to it.
I have decided to become an entrepreneur and open up a damage control shop so that brain-damaged snowbirds can come in and get their brains repaired.
Well, actually, somebody's already thought of pretty much the same thing. It's called a damage control shop, and what you do when you go in there is you get a AAA triptych with the route back home.
No, well, see, this one is even better because what it does, it puts an injection of Florida cracker into their systems, and then they become totally acculturated to the situation.
You know, I really thought what happened last night at Epcot Center, speaking of Florida crackers, was truly a magnanimous gesture on the part of the League of Women Voters in the state of Florida to put 2 genuine Florida crackers on display for an entire hour.
I thought it was a display of ignorance on both sides.
Well, yeah. That's another way of phrasing it.
All right, Bob, I'm going to work on opening the shop, and if I come up with any new ideas, I'll call you.
Okay, we'd really appreciate that, Ken. Take care. There's one... 6 minutes after the hour of 1 o'clock, it is the annual Brain Damaged Snowbird Return Day here at the radio station. As a matter of fact, all out throughout the Bay Area. Otherwise known as Tuesday, October the 25th, 1988. Yes, Lassiter with you until 3. One line available. We're also starting another regular feature. What do the folks think back home? We sent out one of our news reporters to various different areas up north asking the question, do you worry about big business getting too big? And some of your neighbors back home, for example, Charlotte Heiss from Waterloo, Illinois, said yes, that she's been a small business owner for 23 years and that they're being pushed out by big business. However, Kenneth Ravinsky from Green Bay, Wisconsin, said in some instances, mergers and acquisitions are good for companies, their communities, and the economy. There are a lot of companies that continue to give to the community no matter how big they get. Just some of the things that the people back home are saying on the pertinent issues of the day. Let's go to Mark in Tampa. Mark, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Bob, I was reading in the paper the other day. I'm from Philadelphia, and we've been down here for 4 weeks. I've been down here 2 weeks already. And they had an article about cocaine in Florida, and that was the second biggest industry. You know what the first one was?
What's that?
It was tourism.
In places like Miami and Orlando,
And, well, you know what tourism brings to Florida?
A lot of people who buy cocaine, apparently.
And also the people that spend their money.
Yes. As a matter of fact, Michael, how many Canadian quarters have you picked up so far?
Canadian, not me.
Michael's already picked up 2 Canadian quarters. Yes,
but
it brings money.
Unfortunately, when I went to the Bucks game yesterday, I didn't lose too much money. I mean, it was a good show. Y'all have a good team down here.
Well, it's good that you went yesterday. Had you shown up on Sunday during the game, you might have felt differently about it.
Or Sunday. Anyway, I went Sunday. I'm sorry about that. I wish I would have gone Monday because they didn't show up Sunday either. I was hoping they'd get there Monday. But that's the way your team is, and I should have known that when I got there. I like the other team better. Anyway, I'm 19, and I drive fine. I mean, I have a good record.
Well, I don't understand. If you're 19, what are you doing in Tampa? Why aren't you down where, all of the young snowbirds go?
Well,
it's a lovely community on the south shore of Tampa Bay where they give out free beer to anybody under 20. Mm-hmm. It's called Sun City Center. It's where all the young tourists go.
I haven't heard of that. Maybe we'll go there next week or something.
Oh, hey, I'd go there this afternoon if I were you.
Well,
I mean, round about the end of October, that place starts to fill up with young chicks, and it's really a swinging place. Yeah.
Can we find you there? You hang out there on weekends?
No, I'm too old to go there. I'm 43.
Oh.
Yeah, no one over 25 is allowed into Sun City Center.
That sounds. Maybe we'll go there next week. I'm only down here for 2 weeks.
Oh, it's a hit place, man. You'll really love it.
Really?
Oh, fantastic.
Well, maybe I'll.
Bars are open till 6 a.m. at Sun City Center.
No kidding.
Uh-huh. Top name rock groups are in there every week.
Really?
Yeah, I think, isn't it Pat Benatar? Yeah, Pat Benatar at the community center this week.
You're getting off the point here. There are a few people that drive bad down here.
Guns N' Roses next week, by the way.
I'm sorry?
Guns N' Roses next week at Sun City Center.
Oh, that's a good group.
Only $2.50. The tickets are only $2.50.
No kidding.
No kidding.
Bring my quarters?
Oh, I think they take Canadian quarters, yeah.
Do they?
Yeah, I only need 10 of them.
But, well, I'm getting off the point here what I want to say. Y'all don't realize what tourism brings to Florida. I mean, it's
Oh, sure we do. No, we know exactly what it brings.
Yeah, it brings money. You know what your taxes would be if we didn't have tourism?
About how much are you spending during the month that you'll be here?
Probably about $10 a week.
$10 a week? Oh, boy, okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to go to any...
You're one of the big spenders.
I know y'all had a panda down here last month. We missed that. I'm really upset about that.
Yeah, they sent the panda back to China.
I was heartbroken when I found out the panda was gone.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that's a big thing down here.
Oh, yeah, pandas? Oh, yeah, pandas are very big.
Yeah. And
yeah, they bring the panda in for the summertime because it's so damned hot and miserable down here in the summer that they needed something like that to trick people to come in.
Oh, I see. But we missed the hurricane, too. The hurricane must have been pretty fun.
There wasn't any hurricane this year.
I heard... Huh?
There wasn't any hurricane
Well,
this year.
there was about 30 feet of water, I heard. Everybody got out their canoes.
Well, no, that was just a typical, late summer rainfall, that's all.
Yeah. Well, I heard everybody got to finally bust out their canoes. They got the cobwebs off, and that's what they're used to. I heard everybody down in Florida is used to driving around the little john boats and canoes. Get out backwoodsy, That's a big thing for y'all. And I would have liked to gotten a few pictures of that to take back home. But maybe they'll have something at the rest stops on the way up. Little memories of our trip. But
well, don't forget the Florida gift shop in Georgia on your way back.
Really? I think we went through. Well, we're gonna skip around. We're gonna go up the East Coast.
Yeah, I think they've got a shirt. There's a new T-shirt this year. Last year the big seller was, I love my grandchildren, and now they have even in large and extra large. I love my grandma and grandpa.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
it's got an alligator on it and everything.
I've got one of those. I got an alligator T-shirt already.
Oh, great.
It's a hunting alligator T-shirt. The new ones I got because y'all are allowed to hunt alligators now.
I
heard that's a big thing down here also. I mean, everybody gets to go out in their airboats and wrestle a few alligators. So,
most people don't even have to go out in their airboats. All they have to do is go out in the backyard.
Yeah, Florida's a happening place. I mean,
it really is.
Only one or two places you can find pandas and alligators in the same month.
That's right.
You have something to be proud of down here, and we're resorted up north having decent football games on the weekends, and decent shows and places to go. And,
Hey, how about them Phillies?
Well, the Phillies were a little bit behind the season. But
a little bit.
We took a drive over and watched the Mets play, and they did a good enough job.
Well, that's one of the best things about Philadelphia is its proximity to New York.
Yeah, well, it's not that close, Bob. I mean, to drive from where we live to the stadium was quite a while, but it's close enough to have a good time.
Well, it takes about as long as it would take to normally drive from, let's say, St. Petersburg Beach to Treasure Island in the winter.
Well, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how far they are apart.
They're right next to each other.
Oh. Well, you almost drive slow down here.
Well, we do in the winter, yeah. It's pretty much we're forced to.
Well, it's those compact cars y'all drive.
No, it's those cars with Pennsylvania plates.
Oh, look, there's the ocean.
Yeah, and they slow down.
It's the Gulf, Bob.
Yeah, I know it's the Gulf. Most of the people down here know it's the Gulf, but most of the people who come from Pennsylvania think it's the ocean.
Wave to the Queen.
Queen?
Yeah, Queen Elizabeth. On the other side of the ocean.
Oh, yeah. It's a little bit farther than that. Well, anyway, we do like to listen to your show when we come down here. And
well, great.
It's a change.
Oh, it certainly is.
But
much better than what they've got on DB or CAU, that's for sure.
One thing, though.
Has that guy who does the night show died yet?
No.
No, he's still alive, Irv. Yeah.
One thing I was going to do, I should have known how you like tasty cakes.
Oh, tasty cakes?
Artificial ones down here.
Yeah, they are artificial, that's true.
I even had one last week, and I was just, because being 2 weeks away from it so far, it's just, I can't take it much longer. And I thought, well, maybe by some chance y'all have some decent tasty cakes even. But you all you can't come close to that either.
Well, have you tried the possum burgers yet?
Possum burgers?
Possum burgers,
no.
Yeah. Well, that's what we eat down here instead of tasty cakes.
Yeah, the armadillo tail wasn't bad.
Yeah, that's pretty tasty.
At this new restaurant, y'all got K-Pot Tree.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fancy, nice place.
Oh, yeah, it is.
We all must be proud of that.
We certainly are.
Well, it's just covered with nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really nice place. I mean, all the young guys hang out there, too.
Well, it's actually an old original Bookbinders. They just changed the signs for the winter.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it? But, no, tasty cakes weren't that good, and I was a little disappointed, actually, when I came down here. I was expecting a little more. The sun wasn't bad. We got away from the snow and the cold and stuff like that. But I'm looking forward to go back.
Great.
I mean, I think 4 weeks is enough for me.
Oh, okay.
But we'll tell everybody, maybe stop by here and give y'all a call.
Don't forget Sun City Center. Pat Benatar this week, Guns N' Roses next.
All right.
It's fantastic. You'll love it.
I mean, we've been down here 2 weeks, and we've been trying to find something to do. I mean,
I know if you want to talk about nonstop party. Ooh, they are
Sun
party
City
animals. Sun
Center?
City Center. Uh-huh.
Well, I heard Lakeland Civic Center. That's sort of like it. I mean,
no, it's not a civic center. It's a whole community called Sun City Center. It's where all the young people go.
Young people?
Mm-hmm.
My age, 19, 20?
Yeah. If you're over 25, you can't get in.
Huh. Maybe we'll do that. I don't know. I'll look around. I mean, we're in Tampa. I don't know how far it is from Tampa.
Not far at all.
No?
No, not far at all.
Well, maybe we'll look into that. Maybe we'll head out
Just
there.
head south on 60.
South on... I know that's off near 41.
Right.
Okay. All right, well, thanks for the call, Bob.
Hey, anytime.
I like to get some things straight.
Okay, take care, Mark. One line of it, 970 WFLA.
Hey, this is John in Palm Harbor.
Palm Harbor, right. Uh-huh.
Hello?
Yes.
Hey, the language you use on there, Bob, I sure don't approve of.
English? English is the official language in the state of Florida, sir.
G-O-D and hell and damn and that kind of stuff is not official language.
Well, sir, then you better not watch Channel 22. They use words like that all the time.
Well, now, you want to compare yourself to somebody that's good.
Well, I beg your pardon, sir. They use words like that all the time.
Maybe, I don't care what they use.
Be good, read your Bible, you'll be damned and go to hell. Yeah, that's what they say over there all the time.
I don't listen to it, and maybe us Lutherans should start a crusade then to not listen to your station then.
Oh, please, sir, don't do that.
Well, Bob,
please, sir.
You're saying God and stuff like that. That isn't right.
God's not right, sir?
The word, the way you use it, isn't right.
What do you mean the way I use it?
Well, you'll say, God damn, yesterday, I don't know how many my wife and I both heard you in the car.
Sir, I beg your pardon, you didn't hear me say that.
Oh, yeah.
No, not together, sir.
So, if you could clean up your act, I'm going to continue to listen to WFLA. But if you can't, I'm not, and I'll get a lot of other people not to listen.
Well, how would you suggest that I clean up my act, sir? Perhaps talk about Social Security, things of that nature?
Well, use language that's not like that. Don't use that filthy language.
Don't use that the word God is filthy, sir?
Yes, so the way you use it.
Oh, my goodness, I've never heard that before.
Well, you don't go to church then, do you?
Do I go to church? Why would you ask that?
Well, if you went to church, you know how you use the word God.
Well, sir, believe it or not, even not being a regular churchgoer, I'm fairly familiar with the liturgy and most of the philosophy and theology.
Well, you're not familiar with all of it, or you wouldn't use it in the sense that you use it.
Sir, test me. Ask me some questions.
Pardon?
Test me on that and ask me some questions, before you go making accusations that I'm not familiar with.
Well, I heard you yesterday. My wife heard you yesterday. We was in the car together.
In the car together? Where were you going? Were you on your way to the mall for that free blood pressure test?
No. We were on our way to Countryside Mall.
Countryside Mall.
Yeah, on 19.
Weren't they giving the some kind of test up there yesterday? They were giving for free.
I don't know what they were giving. We went down there to buy some
Right,
things.
exactly. What difference does it make as long as it's
But
free?
anyway, if you could, I'll continue to listen to your program. If not, if you keep on using those kind of words, that I'm through with it, and maybe we ought to publicize it in the Lutheran Church to get them to our members to quit.
Publicize my show in the Lutheran Church.
Yes, sir.
Whoa, that would be quite something. I don't think my show's ever been publicized in the Lutheran Church.
Well,
there are a number of Baptist churches that mention it from time to time, but the Lutherans, whoa.
So we're not a small organization, but it's just something that I think you should seriously consider.
Maybe you guys could threaten to boycott some of my advertisers. Like the rock and roll clubs that advertise here.
Well, we wouldn't know who would be your advertisers if we don't listen to you.
Well, primarily Clearasil, Bubble Yum, let's see, Corvette, things like that they advertise on the show.
So if you can clean it up, Bob, it'd be to everybody's advantage.
It would be to everyone's. Well, I don't.
You don't gain a thing by using God's name in vain.
Sir, I gain utterly nothing by having elderly Lutherans listening to me. I mean, it actually kind of messes up the demographics. I mean, one of the reasons that I'm here, sir, is to drive away elderly Lutherans.
Well, I know that we'll start it now. If you're there to drive away elderly Lutherans.
I'm terrified of losing my job because apparently I'm not doing it. So what I would suggest to you is that you call all of your elderly Lutheran friends and tell them to listen to the show for 3 or 4 months, and then decide what to do about it. It comes on at noon. It goes off at 3.
We sure will.
And sir, if you think this show is bad, do you know what they were talking about on the show before this last week? How old should a child be before you kick him out of the marriage bed? Can you imagine? The show host was actually soliciting calls on, do children belong in a marriage bed? And you know what the marriage bed is.
Well, listen, I've got to be moving on.
And the show after this, sir?
I want to get my 2 cents worth in.
Sir, the show after this was talking about having sex with animals.
Did you hear what I said?
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah,
I mean, you're complaining about my show, sir.
I don't need to listen to that kind of stuff.
Well, sir, I don't talk about that kind of stuff on my show. I was referring to the one that comes before me and the one that comes after me.
Well, that's up to them. I didn't hear.
Oh, it's okay what they do. Oh, you just want to pick on me.
No, I didn't hear it, so I don't know.
Just because I'm not a Lutheran.
I'm just taking your word, and from what I've heard about you and Indian Rocks Beach a little while ago, and pouring cement slabs for the snowbirds and stuff. I could understand you could say about anything.
Well, sir, it's true. They remove all the sand in Indian Rocks Beach every September, and they don't put it back until May. It's their way of discouraging brain-damaged snowbirds.
Oh, yeah.
And that beach in Indian Rocks
where did you come
is almost a mile deep in the summer.
Are you a native down here?
Am I a native down here, sir? I'm a native no matter where I am.
You're not a native. You weren't born down here, so you're a snowbird, too.
Oh, do you mean an original Floridian?
Yeah.
Oh, well, because I am a Native American. No, I'm not an original Floridian, no, sir.
So why don't you go back up north then?
Well, sir, that's because I come from Cuba. I came from south of here.
Well, then go back there.
Go back there? Why would you want me to do that, sir?
Well, that's what you're telling about other people. That's not snow.
Sir, I've not suggested that anyone go to Cuba.
I'm going to hang up on you, Bob, because I got to go. Okay?
Well, your arm's getting tired, isn't it?
If you can, no, it's resting on a chair.
I'll bet.
If you can
Lazy boy recliner?
Clean up your act, I'll keep listening, and so are other people. If you don't, why we won't.
Is it a lazy boy recliner?
Goodbye. I'm in a lazy boy recliner.
All days only, and it's let's see, Wayne in Tampa. Wayne, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Hey, Bob, how are you?
Oh, great, Wayne.
Well, you woke me up there, but that's all right. Even though you did, I would suggest to you that you're going to have a couple of more special days here. And that's for the young Dane Bramage snowbirds.
Yeah, the young Dane Bramaged,
And also for the Canadian Dane Bramaged. So that's a couple more days you're going to have to put into your schedule.
Well, no, actually, we just lump them all in together.
Oh, do you really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've been noticing that they're...
You have a big problem with young brain-damaged snowbirds?
Oh, no, just with all of them.
Oh. Well, then why did you want a special show for young brain damaged
just so that you make sure that they get their share also.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it really is a great public service that you're offering here.
Well, it's something that has become an annual festivity here at the radio station.
And heaven knows it's necessary, because there's some of us that forget, and we kind of not paying attention, and then all of a sudden here they are all around us, and we just kind of freak out, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's your turn, Bob.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Wayne. Appreciate it. Bill in at the Florida Welcome Station. Hi, Bill. You're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Hi, Bob.
Hi. How are things up there at the Florida Welcome Station?
Oh, it's a mess up here, Bob. I need your help.
Oh, man. What's the problem?
Well, I pulled in here, and I just stopped by to get some free orange juice, you know. And I noticed that there was a crowd had gathered by a little bush over here. And
a crowd by the bush?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, when I pulled up, I seen it, and, you know, judging by all the white legs, I figured they must be, you know, southbound.
Uh-huh.
Snowbirds or whatever. And
isn't that really nice that the snowbirds actually have maps tattooed onto their legs?
Yeah, as a matter of fact. Listen, also, what happened, what's going on is I need to know if you have your talk show host manual by.
Yes, as a matter of fact, what do you mean, I couldn't do a talk show without
it. Great, because the problem here is that I seem to be the only Floridian here. I don't know how they knew that it was me, I guess because I got a tan or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And they're all...
Oh, you're probably dressed in natural fiber clothing.
Right. Well, they're all coming to me wanting to know this because they're all gathered, and there's this lizard, Bob. There's this lizard that's sitting on a branch.
Uh-huh.
And his head is bobbing.
Is she trying to sell real estate?
What's that?
Is she trying to sell them real estate? Oh, that kind of lizard. I see.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and his head is bobbing up and down, and there's this big red bag that's popping out of his throat.
Uh-huh.
You seen those?
Oh, yeah.
And they're coming to me wanting to know, you know, what's the deal with that?
Okay, 1 second. Let me reach over here and get the talk show host manual is over here on the floor. Wait 1 second. Okay.
See, Bob, I figure it's my duty as a Florida citizen.
Oh, right here. Let's see. What would that be under?
I don't know what it's called. I didn't know what to tell them, so I figured I'd call you.
It's little green things. It might be under little green things. That's page 1522. 1537. 1520. Oops, one too many. 1522. Okay.
Find it out right now.
Little green things are actually harmless lizards that eat palmetto bugs and other insects. However, tourists like to think they're baby alligators. Tell them they're baby alligators.
Baby alligators?
Yeah, red-sacked baby alligators.
Is that, what's the name of the little sack that pops out? Does it say?
1 second here.
They're really, they look almost frightened, Bob.
It says see appendix for little green things. Okay, little red things.
They're baby alligators. Yeah.
Okay, tell them they're the school colors of Indiana University.
Oh, school colors of Indiana University. They all just went, oh, okay. All right, well, thanks a lot, Bob.
Hey, anytime.
I'll go over there and make sure they understand that.
Okay, let me put the talk show host manual. You're welcome. Glad to help out there.
Sure.
One line available in each county, 990. Bill in Tampa. Hi, Bill. You're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Hey, Bob, you forgot to tell that one young gentleman that when Mick and the Stones are touring the Southeast, that Mick always goes and spends a weekend or two down at Sun City.
You're right. I hope he's still listening.
Yeah, because I'd hate to see him miss that.
I also understand that the Stones will be recording their next album down there.
I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, they're going to take the trucks out of the volunteer fire department garage and set it up as a recording studio.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
Oh, awesome. Awesome.
Floridians be allowed to go, or just people from up north?
Well, if they're under 25, they can stop in, because obviously, as everybody knows, no one over the age of 25 is permitted in Sun City Center.
Correct. Maybe I could get some youngster's driver's license and try to sneak through.
Well, Bill, it's strange that you should mention that, because I understand they're having one hell of a problem with that down there this year. A lot of false ID.
Oh, no.
A lot of false ID. People trying to sneak in there over age.
Well, from what I've seen of pictures in some publications I wouldn't name, I don't blame them. That must really be wild there.
It really is. I particularly like the skateboards that they have down there with a fringe on the top that the people, use to get around from one end of the area to the other.
Have you seen the motorized ones?
Yes, I have.
Those are sharp.
They really are. They have, V8 engines all souped up?
They are something.
Mag wheels.
Oh, geez.
Oh, son of a gun.
That rate's very high, though. Very high on those.
Well, it's my understanding that any guy at Sun City Center that's got one of those has no problem with the chickies, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah, in fact, those will slide right under the bed, you know?
Oh, they will. They will.
Oh, that's something. Well, the reason I called, Bob, is it's really amazing you're having this show today, because yesterday the wife and I got our annual thrill. We look forward to it all summer long.
Your annual thrill? What, you saw a couple of snowbirds going to the bathroom in the bushes alongside the interstate?
No. That usually comes later. Okay. But we were at our favorite convenience store picking up milk and soda and cans of tuna.
Oh, you lucky dog. You got one already, didn't you?
Well, there was two couples there, and they were in Hawaiian shirts. And I said to the wife...
Well, sir, they are not referred to as Hawaiian shirts down here. They're referred to as Pinellas County shirts here.
Okay, Pinellas County shirts. But
well, actually, they're referred to as Pinellas County funeral garb.
Okay, well, I said to the wife, I poked her, and I said, I think those are the first snowbirds. Look.
Sneaking in under the line, were they?
I don't think so, she said. But then they did the one thing that it confirmed it.
Yeah.
You know, there where they have the little lotto table with the lotto slips you fill out and stuff?
Right, yeah.
You know, that little box of pencils? One lady took and opened her purse. You know those great big purses that touch the ground?
Right. Good for putting sugar and, salt and pepper shakers in, yeah.
Right. She took and dumped the box of pencils in the purse. So it had to be snowbirds.
Had to be snowbirds, yep. What else could it possibly be?
And we were so thrilled. We went over and shook their hands and everything and went out and looked at their Ontario plates.
Well, I understand, there is a major problem with that this year because a lot of people have bought land out around Lakeland, and what they're doing is they're going around to the various different 7-Elevens that have the lotto. They take those pencils, and some of them are actually building homes out of them.
Oh, that's not good because the termites are bad down here.
Well, yeah, but most of them don't have that long to live. It takes, the termites several years to really do any serious damage.
True, Bob. That's true. Well, but that also brought something else up. I think all of us have to now be patient. When we zip into the store on the way home to get that quart of milk or quart of Pepsi, whatever, and you've got those older, I was going to say elderly, but that might be offensive, older snowbirds in front of you, and that cashier at your convenience store that obviously is a Rhodes Scholar is explaining the Cash 3 and the lotto to them.
Yeah.
That 15 or 20 minutes extra out of our daily lives, we should all be very patient.
Well, what I like is when they get into a debate as to the merits of the Pennsylvania lottery versus the Florida lottery and how the odds are so much better in Pennsylvania, as is, of course, the the DMV office and the way that they elect aldermen and so forth and so on.
Correct.
I enjoy those debates immensely. I mean, there have been times when I've gone into the 7-Eleven to get a loaf of bread, and I've become so engrossed in these debates I've actually forgotten what I went in there for.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm also really looking forward to. Since listening to you, I've become a big wrestling fan.
Oh, great.
And I can't wait for the first time one of our visitors from up north tries to buy a lotto ticket with 4 Canadian quarters, and the clerk tells him no. And I'm sure that our visitor will reach across the counter there and just slap crap right out of that cashier.
It could well be.
It
could well be. I can envision that happening.
Oh, what fun that shall be. I hope
Especially
I have my
the Canadians. They'll be even angrier if they won't take the money.
Oh, yes. But if I have my camcorder, I'll send you a copy.
I mean, some of those people from Pennsylvania have spent the entire summer going back and forth across the border, going into Canada, picking up Canadian quarters for their annual trek down here.
Well, it wouldn't be fair for us to refuse them then.
Well, I'm looking forward to it because I have everything but the 1976. I have the complete set from the year of my birth, 1945, right up to 1988.
I don't think they made them in 76, Bob.
Are you serious?
Wasn't that the year of the Montreal Olympics?
Yeah.
I do not believe they made Canadian quarters in that year.
Well, that's probably the only reason I don't have one.
They were busy making those commemorative Olympic sets, and
I have
so they didn't make them then.
I have 2,915 1945s. I've got 8,642 1946.
Gee whiz.
I've got 3. Well, you get the idea.
Bob, let me suggest something then to you.
Matter of fact, if Northgate would only take Canadian quarters, I could probably buy that Lincoln just with my Canadian quarter collection.
Bob, go up to Canada and buy the town car up there and bring it back.
Wow, that's not a bad idea.
I mean, with the obviously...
Do they take those things up there?
I don't think for cars. I think they want...
God, I don't know anybody that takes them.
So...
Yeah.
Well, I'll let you go, Bob, but it was just amazing that you had this show today after that's such a thrill I had.
The last time I was in Canada and tried to pass a Canadian quarter, the guy threatened to stick his beaver on me.
When I visited Canada and you come back...
Kill, Bruno, kill!
Into the States, they check you at the little customs place there.
Oh, I love it, don't you?
We ought to set up right there at the Georgia line.
Uh-huh.
Well, maybe late April, early May, a little station there. We can get all our pencils back.
What the hell do we want with the pencils, though,
We could sell them to the putt-putt places.
Yeah, but you fail to understand, sir, that, of course, the pencils that are used for the lotto, filling out the lotto cards, are made by Florida State University graduates.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And if they weren't taking these pencils out of the state, what would there be for our young people to do?
Yeah, besides drugs, that's probably our biggest export item then, huh?
I mean, exactly.
Okay, I didn't... Gee, I'm so glad...
And it well may pass cocaine by 1991.
Gee,
it was just in the... Didn't you read the business section of USA Today?
Yeah, but aren't we denuding our forests then here in the state of Florida?
No, so there are no nude beaches in the state of Florida.
Oh, okay.
No, that offends the brain-damaged snowbirds.
Thank you, Bob.
Okay, take care.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's see. Okay, here's a call from Tom in Lutz. Tom, where do you stand on this issue?
I wanted to discuss this.
Yeah.
I wanted to discuss this.
Discuss what?
And I'd heard,
Yeah. You heard yeah.
And I'd heard
Tom, could you get to the point, damn it?
And I'd heard
Tom, make some notes or something before you call. Good grief. 573 currently in Tampa. Looking at the map at USA Today, it looks like snow flurries stretching all the way from Duluth, Minnesota, dipping down as far south as Huntington, West Virginia, and going all the way over to Bangor, Maine. Currently, it's about 40 degrees in Buffalo. Detroit checking in at 39 with some flurries expected this afternoon there, too. Milwaukee, a high of 41 today. Ruth in Tampa. Ruth, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Hello, this is Ruth in Tampa.
In Tampa, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm from Nashville, Tennessee, so I guess I'm a snowbird.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been here 19 years.
Did you know Elvis?
No.
That's Memphis.
I'm the older generation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the brain damage type,
Okay.
judging by
Did you know
your
Rudy
attitude.
Valley?
I beg your pardon?
In that case, did you know Rudy Valley?
No, the next generation. Bing Crosby was my generation.
Oh, okay.
I was checking your attitude while I was riding in my car a while ago.
You were checking my attitude?
I was thinking about asking you, had you seen a good proctologist?
Well, ma'am, it's almost impossible to get an appointment with a proctologist in this area between roughly the 15th of October and the 15th of November.
Well, go to Nashville to Vanderbilt.
You've got to make, ma'am, to get an appointment with a proctologist or a urologist, you have to make an appointment down here during those months at least 3 years in advance.
Well, I came down here because of my husband's health. He had cancer, and this weather's wonderful for him.
Uh-huh.
And we had some good years before he died. I don't think they even have to use birth control medicine down here because everybody's from somewhere else. Nobody was born here. I don't know what that happens to that. But I just wanted to check that with you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Ruth just wanted to see if I've made an appointment with a proctologist, and as I pointed out with her, impossible between mid-October and mid-May. 2 lines of... Bob in St. Petersburg. Bob, you're on the air at 970.
Yes, hello, Bob.
Hi there.
I'm a rock promoter, right?
Well, I don't know, are you?
Well, I am, and I thought you might like to know that U2, The Clash, and Ozzy Osbourne will be playing at
Sun City Center. Oh, what a great season it's going to be at Sun City Center.
And also, we're trying, you remember Woodstock, of course.
Oh, sure
We're trying to get together sort of an 80s Woodstock for the South.
Oh, fantastic. Who would be in that?
U2, The Clash, Ozzy, as I already said, Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue.
Motley Crue.
Twisted Sister.
Uh-huh.
Megadeth, of course.
Megadeth, yeah. I saw them I saw Megadeth last year at the Indiana Club.
Did you?
Yes, I did. Fantastic.
Yes, and of course, we'll be having, for the real headbangers, we'll be having Slayer and Rigor Mortis.
Is that the same Is that the same group that played at the Michiganders Club last season, too?
Oh, I believe it is, Bob.
Probably is, yeah. Rigor Mortis, okay.
And,
that drummer, man, that drummer in Rigor Mortis, he is so cute.
Oh, yes. But I thought,
all the girls love him.
I thought your listeners might like to know that. And on that night, we'll also be giving out, keep this very hush-hush, Bob, but we'll be giving out, a little bit of smokables that night to the people.
Dried prune skins?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
And also
Florida's favorite weed.
And also free beer, of course.
Oh, of course.
And I just, I really appreciate you letting me, promote it on your show. I want all the brain damaged snowbirds to come.
Hey, man, like they say in Ohio, farm out.
Right on.
Take care.
Take care.
One line of 461. Two lines open. The annual Brain Damage Snowbird Return Day. Off we go to Pam in Clearwater. Pam, you're on the air at 970 WFLA. Hi, Pam.
How you doing?
Oh, great. On a day like this, are you kidding?
Yeah, I was just calling because last year you played a tape or something about Mr. Airstream.
Uh-huh.
I was telling some friends of mine at work about it, and we'd like to hear it. Is there any way we could hear it?
You'd like to hear a tape? Well, that was a real call,
Well,
man.
okay. Well, is there any way, did you keep the tape, or is there any way we could hear it over again?
Well, maybe Mr. Airstream will call in again. You never know about that kind of stuff. He said he came down here every season and had been for quite some number of years.
Okay, well, Mr. Airstream, if you're listening, please call.
Well, Mr. Airstream, of course, was a very popular caller. I'm not sure what time of the year that he and his wife get down here, but, they could be here by now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, we'll see if we can do it for you.
All right, thanks a lot.
Take care, Pam.
Bye.
Pinellas, 46 Wayne in Temple Terrace. Wayne, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Bob.
Yeah, Wayne.
Hey, I think Mr. Airstream's back. He was the caller about 7 back, the one that was impersonating the incensed Lutheran.
No, that wasn't Mr. Airstream.
You're sure?
No, that was the Lutheran. He has a name now all to himself, the Lutheran.
Hey, Bob, you know what the most beautiful sight in the Tampa Bay area is?
Yeah, around about the second week in May, it's that dust cloud disappearing over the north horizon.
It's 100,000 Canadians headed north with a New Yorker and a Michigander under each arm.
Well, yeah, roughly the same thing,
Yep.
Roughly the same thing.
Yep. Well, I just, you sure that wasn't Mr. Airstream?
No, that was the Lutheran.
That was the Lutheran.
Yeah, he'll probably be back.
If he remembers how to use the radio dial on the telephone, he may get back to you.
We haven't taught him how to use the outhouse yet. Come on, give me a break,
Hey, keep going, Bob. Good
I
show.
will. Be good. Hey, Humphrey in Ruskin. Humphrey, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
How you doing, sweetheart?
Great, Hump.
I got the Slated station on US 41 and Shell Point Road in Ruskin.
Uh-huh.
And I'd like
Is that the one that says last gas before Tampa?
That's the one.
Yeah.
I like to tell my northern friends that I've already got 4 barrels of used oil out back, free, 2 large piles of used tires they can use. All of my vending machines take Canadian quarters, and tell them that by disconnecting their 2 spark plugs on their 8-cylinder Chryslers does not save gas. It does not save gas.
It doesn't?
No.
Are you sure about that? I mean, I heard a lecture on the pier in St. Petersburg just last winter about that.
No, it does not save gas, and they've got to quit doing that. My lube rack they'll have to get appointments for their free lubes that they like to use my lube for free oil.
A lot of them that can't get appointments with proctologists tend to use that, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Anytime, Hump. Be good. 9-9. Off we go to Jim in St. Petersburg. Jim, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Good afternoon, Bob.
Oh, what a great afternoon, isn't it, Jim?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here looking out the window. Winnebago's rolling by one after another, all headed towards St. Pete.
Well, I just wanted to pass a little idea along to you, see if we could get some financial support for this one.
Uh-huh.
Wanted to buy some land out next to the welcome station.
Yeah.
And we could put up another building and offer free coffee and donuts. And on the other side of the two-way mirror, what they wouldn't realize would be a shooting gallery.
Whoa. Hey, that doesn't sound... Wait a second, Jim. That sounds rather hostile.
Well, just a tad, but, you know, I've had to put up with it my whole life.
Well, how about if we did it with, you know, rubber-tipped darts?
Well, we could do that. You know, anything to make it just a little bit uncomfortable.
Because, Jim, as you well know, if we were to kill off all of the snowbirds that way, the economy here would just go to hell in a handbasket, and there wouldn't be anything left for the rest of us who live here year-round.
That's true. That's an idea for next year. I did start on one last year, and I've got it rolling right now. And I just wanted to offer the people of Pinellas County my services as I will custom wreck your car so you won't have to worry about the snowbirds denting it.
Well, Jim, most of us already have dents and pits in our cars, and, you know, snowbird season is only a day old.
True, but there's a few people over the last 6 months that have purchased new vehicles, and they don't have a scratch in it yet. And I figure for a nominal fee, I can make a little extra money this way.
I mean, already this morning I saw, you know, a couple pull up in a Taurus with Indiana plates on it, and they were missing a piece of molding on theirs, and they just took it off of mine and put it on theirs.
Well, that's
drove off.
It's normal for the snowbirds to do that.
Yeah, well.
It's also normal for them to die at the steering wheel and not realize it till they get back to Indiana.
Well, you know how it is. They don't want to spend any money down here.
That's right. Well, you take care, my friend.
Be good, Jim. 99 yeah, I can hear you, Jim.
First of all, Bob, I'm a first-time caller, and I've been listening to you for over a year. I'm from Scranton. That's Tasty Cake Country, too.
Yes, indeed it is.
Bob,
well within driving distance of Canadian Quarterland.
Listen, can I talk about a cruise that I was on last Christmas over the holidays?
A cruise that you were on last Christmas over the holidays. Well, that sounds to me like a fascinating topic. Sure.
Okay, Bob, this is unbelievable. There was there was around 750 people on the ship.
Yeah.
They took a survey. There was 40 people on the boat, not counting the crew, under 70 years old.
Oh, it was one of those young cruises, yeah.
Yeah. But the second day out, half of the 25-cent slot machines on the ship were all screwed up because people were dropping all their Canadian quarters.
You're kidding me.
They were saving them up for the cruise.
Holy cow.
It was just unbelievable.
God, and that was probably a party fishing boat too, right?
Yeah. But the best part about it, this is unreal. You know, there's two sittings. I don't know if you've ever been on a cruise or not. You eat at 6 or you eat at 8.
No, I've never been on a cruise. I went on the Veracruz.
Okay. Anyway, right after the first seating at 8 o'clock, they had a floor show, and everybody went into the main lounge there, and 90% of the seats in there were saved. And you look around about 15 or 20 minutes later, and the people that were saving the seats were sitting there sound asleep. The people they were saving the seats for never showed up, and they missed half of the show. And the other people there were just standing around holding the walls up, watching the show because they were afraid to sit down. About the third day, that all ended when I figured out that I paid the same price for a ticket they did.
Boy, this really sounds like an exciting cruise.
Oh, I couldn't begin to tell you. But
wow.
Anyway, that's another place. That's another outlet for all these Canadian quarters is on the cruise ships.
Okay, I'll tell you what, Jim. I'm going to drop 2 coins. Tell me which one is the Canadian quarter, number 1 or number 2. Let me move the microphone down here. Okay. Here is coin number 1. Here is coin number 2. Whoops. Coin number 2 dropped on the floor. Just a second, Jim.
You got it.
I got to bend down here and climb into the cup. Okay. Here's coin number 2. Which one was the Canadian coin?
Probably both of them.
No. It was coin number 1, Jim.
Okay.
Okay. Take care.
Bob.
Yeah?
You're doing a good job. And listen, I think you ought to be compensated a little bit more money for putting up with all of these squirrels down here. I don't know how you do it.
Well,
how you do it.
It's not easy.
I know, pal.
It's not. It's only looking for that 1976 Canadian quarter that keeps me here. Do you know what's on the back of a 1976 Canadian quarter? Or any year, I guess.
Pardon?
Do you know what's on the back of a Canadian quarter?
Moose or an elk or something.
It's a moose. You got it. Okay. Take care, Jim.
Thanks, Bob.
All right. Tom and Oldsmar. Tom, you're on the air.
I wanted to discuss this.
Wait a second.
I wanted to
discuss
Get
this,
off
my phone, you miserable subhuman pig. Can't fool me. Tom in Oldsmar. Yeah, right. Ian in Largo. Ian, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Hi, how you doing, Bob?
Oh, great.
Hey, I was calling in to give you some comments about what you could do with those Canadian quarters. They're real good on jamming tolls on the crosstown and on any kind of bridge going over towards the beach. I work as a courier, and I have a lot of snowbirds cutting in front of me. And yesterday I saw one wearing a Couch Killer shirt. That's old Hawaiian shirt for you. And there was some Lazy Boy recliners in the back of this Ford pickup with Michigan plates, and I could have sworn it was Sam McClellan I saw sitting in the back.
Lazy Boy recliners in the back of a pickup. What, was it a Dodge or a Ford pickup?
It was a Ford pickup.
A Ford pickup.
And it looked like Sam. I think he's a part-time resident, Bob.
Well, I don't think Sam is a brain-damaged snowbird. I believe Sam is a brain-damaged native.
A brain-damaged native? Well, it could have been his parents driving the thing.
Well, I don't know. I guess it could have been. I guess it could have been.
Well, you never know with Sam's mentality.
You know, we do have this old Lazy Boy recliner that Sam uses when he's doing his show. You know, it's kind of a yellow naugahyde.
Oh, well, I like the brown better. You know, with a nice big gash in the middle.
Well, you know, this one's yellow. It does have a spring protruding from the seat.
Oh, well, that's what gives him his attitude. You know, that spring's been digging in his back for so long.
Well, no, it's not the back. It would be actually giving him some grief in another area. Which, you know, you may be right. Perhaps that is the problem with Sam and his show.
Well, you know, that and, you know, his parents traveling back and forth every year, I think we can expect them to arrive pretty soon, if not today.
Could be. Could be.
Well, you have a good day, Bob.
Of course, it is the annual Brain Damaged Snowbird Return Day. This can hardly be. Two Ians in one fell swoop. Ian in Sun City. Ian, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Hey, Bob.
Yeah, I see the festivities have already started down there,
Hey, look at Sam, Bob. Too much.
Oh, man, it sounds like you guys at Sun City Center are already having a party. And it's only the 25th of October. You animals. You guys are animals.
I can't hear you, Bob. There's too much smoke in here.
How are the girls this year down there?
What?
The chickies. How are the chickies this year? Good crop of chickies?
Wow.
Man, they are party animals. Whoa! Okay, we'll check in with Ian a little bit later on for another party report from Sun City Center. Joyce in Kenneth City. Joyce, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Hi, Bob. How you doing?
Oh, great, Joyce.
Listen, I just wanted to make a public announcement that we here in Kenneth City do our part, too. We're giving a dinner here at the fire station in beautiful downtown Kenneth City.
Farm out.
And we've all been saving our leftovers for the past month.
Is that all?
We have a potluck dinner.
Oh, potluck dinners are very, very popular with the snowbirds.
Yeah, well, listen,
Will there be any bingo afterwards?
Pardon me?
Any bingo after the dinner?
No, but I was going to ask you to be a guest speaker tonight, but after hearing Tom from Lutz, I think he'd be much better.
Okay, well, we'll see if we can't get in touch with him and send him. That's the Firehouse in Kenneth City.
Right, in downtown Kenneth City.
Downtown, okay. Thanks, Joyce.
Listen, Bob, has Tom ever thought about running for office?
I don't know. He just runs his mouth. I don't know if he's going to run for office. Joyce, I got to...
News Radio with News Radio 970 WFLA's Bob Lassiter.
Welcome back, 8 minutes after the hour of 2 o'clock on a Tuesday, October the 25th, 1988. We had a report during the break that we took for the news. A caller called in and said that there was a massive traffic tie-up somewhere along the interstate system. So we have sent out a WFLA traffic reporter to see exactly what the problem is. It was reported that there was a woman in a screaming yellow sleeveless top over purple stretch pants with red fire engine red sandals, I should say, causing some type of a ruckus. Tom Smith, WFLA's very own Tom Smith. Tom, are you out there on the scene? Tom, could you give us a report as to exactly what is going on out there?
I wanted to discuss this. And I'd heard, And I'd heard as after the and I'd heard as after the yeah. And I'd heard his
Tom, fantastic as usual. Tom will be checking in with us during the remainder of this program today with various different reports from all over the Bay Area about the return of the snowbirds. It is the first full day after the first full moon in October, which, of course, as everybody who lives in Florida knows, is the traditional brain-damaged snowbird return day. Tom, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Yeah, Bob.
Yeah, Tom.
I got them.
You got them? You got what?
I got them Canadians.
You got them? What do you mean?
I got a bar, and they can't get me now.
You got a bar? What do you mean?
Yeah. I got a cigarette machine and a beer vending machine, and they don't take them damn Canadian coins.
Well, the best way that we know of around here, and we've talked with several restaurateurs, the best way that we know of to discourage Canadian customers is to add the gratuity onto the bill.
Well, these machines I got don't take any coins at all, so they can't foul up my machines.
They only take bills.
They don't take nothing.
Oh, well, I don't understand, Tom.
I bought these machines from this business over here in St. Pete Beach someplace.
Yeah.
coinless vending machines.
Uh-huh.
And boy, I'm happy. No more Canadian coins. I love it. Go back home.
What do they take?
Get a radio signal. They pay my bartender. He pushes a button, and the radio signal sets it up for a vend.
Oh, you mean they give cash to your bartender, good old U.S. currency, and then he presses a button and it releases whatever it is that they want from the vending machine?
Yeah, U.S. currency only.
You know, that is even more clever. That is even more clever than adding a gratuity to the bill.
That got them beat. They can't pawn that piece of the worthless stuff off on me anymore.
Oh, that's fantastic. What a great story. What a great report. I'm sure that many area business owners will be getting in touch with you for further details on that.
Well, not me.
Yeah.
Let them go contact that company over there. I think his name Coinless Vending. They're the place to go.
Okay.
Get rid of all these Canadian coins.
Okay. Well, thanks, Tom, for the report.
Okay.
Take care. Bob in Gulfport. Bob, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Yeah, I had to pull off the side road and call you, Bob.
Some brain-damaged snowbird run you off the side?
Yeah, we've got a bad traffic situation down here. What happened that tanker with the prune juice you were talking about?
Yeah.
Was coming off 49th Street, and I guess he didn't have his sunglasses or whatever, but one of these Airstreams in front of him, just the sun shining off of it blinded him.
Oh.
Yeah, and he pulled off the side of the road. Now the big confrontation is that he's right between a Bob Evans and a Morrison's.
Yeah.
And Morrison said we didn't realize when the sale went on that we were going to need all this juice, and they're trying to work out a deal where both of them can split it, or one gets 2/3 and one gets, a third.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's a bad situation down here.
Well, many of the brain-damaged snowbirds, this is going to be a real tragedy because many of the brain-damaged snowbirds like to have their prune juice warmed up and then ladled over the meatloaf as gravy.
Well, I've got to call Captain Mel on Saturday to see what this is going to do to the fish population, out here in the Gulf, because I'm sure it's going to be pretty devastating.
You mean it spilled right into...
And I'm also going to have to, he comes on at 6. I'm going to have to start calling in at 4:30 because, he gives these free fishing lures away.
Mm-hmm.
And Teddy gives these free T-shirts away from WFLA.
Yeah.
And these people are going to want to go up there with this T-shirt that... whatever happens.
I thought a free fishing lure at this time of the year was half price on a party boat.
Yeah, but they have to pay the price of the party boat.
Yeah,
when they sit at, their motel room and listen to Captain Mel and get it for nothing. And then they're going to have it mailed back home to them. So I'm going to have to get up a little extra early. But I did think of a way that I can turn this to my advantage.
Yeah, how's that?
I can sell all my obscene bumper stickers because pretty soon they're going to be extinct. We're not going to be able to use them. They can go back and they'll really have some collector's items.
Whoa, wait.
Aha.
No, man, you just gave me an idea.
Yeah.
We can take if we would each go out and buy a dozen obscene bumper stickers, and then one night a week, just one night a week, go out into various different parking lots.
Clearwater Beach would be a good place.
Yeah, various different parking lots at very, inexpensive motels, and slap those suckers on the back of cars without estate tags.
Yeah.
Do you realize we could We could probably afford super highways in Florida.
Sure, because
we could afford great schools. We could afford on just the fines alone from the dirty bumper stickers.
Yeah. Besides that, if they do get back home with them, the ones that escape the state police, they can say, hey, nobody else is going to ever be able to get these down in Florida again. This is a real collector's item.
Yes, it is. Well, you know, the snowbirds find many things real collector's items. You know, dead fish floating in the bay. They love to collect those in large green plastic bags and take them home.
Oh, yeah, and hotel towels, etc.
Golly, I tell you, the fishing in Florida is just great. You don't even need a rod and reel. You just pick them up along the shore.
There you go. Or steal them from the pelicans.
Yeah.
Well, let me let somebody else get there. I just thought I'd keep you abreast of what's going on down here in Gulfport.
Well, we like to be kept abreast. Take care there, Bob.
Okay, you too.
Gary in Palm Harbor. Gary, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
How you doing?
Oh, great, Gary.
What's the story about you don't like snowbirds?
What do you mean what's the story about I don't like snowbirds?
Because I'm a snowbird.
So?
I come down every year.
Yeah, great. Glad to hear that.
So what's the story? I hear you don't like us too much.
Well, who told you that?
Oh, that's what I've been hearing on the radio.
That's not what's been said on the radio at all, Gary. I mean, this is a day of celebration for those of us who live here year-round.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes.
I hear you guys complaining about Canadian money and things like that.
Well, yes, there is a minor rub about, having Canadian money pawned off on you, which, of course, is utterly useless in the state of Florida.
Well, generally, when I leave the city before I come down here, I usually go up to Niagara, get a ton of it before I come down.
Well, apparently many of your kind do, yes.
Oh, yes, we love to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just hearing, some of the things you talk about down here. What was this I was just hearing about bumper stickers?
What about them?
About making money off of... Is that the kind of petty things Floridians do? They make money off of little things like that?
Oh, no, I think you misunderstood, Gary. You see, a recent ordinance was just passed requiring all cars to have tasteless bumper stickers.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes, and if a state policeman sees you with one, he will give you a receipt. And you take that receipt down to the city hall, and they'll exchange it for cash.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
How come you guys don't have any hockey teams down here?
Oh, why don't we have any hockey teams down here?
Yeah, if you want us guys to come down here and spend our money,
I suppose for the same reason that, you don't have any high life frontons in Michigan. I don't know.
Well, I don't come from Michigan. I wouldn't know about that.
Well, where do you come from?
From New York.
From New York. Well, I suppose we don't have any hockey teams down here for the same reason that you guys don't have any flamingos up there.
Well, how come you don't have any football teams down here either?
Well, we don't like football.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's what it is.
Oh, okay. A bunch of ballerinas out on the field. Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's what it is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, obviously, because the Jets are doing well and the Giants, that means that you live in a vastly superior part of the country.
Definitely.
That's why you're down here.
Oh, it's definitely vastly superior.
Of course, that's why you're down here.
I come down here every year just to rip you people off. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm just an entrepreneur. That's all I do. I come down here and make money.
An entrepreneur comes down here to make money. Son of a gun. What do you do, Gary?
I'll buy land, businesses, whatever I get my hands on.
Hey, this is the one we keep... Yeah, that's fantastic. Great.
Sure. So how come you're down in Florida? If you like Florida, what's the story?
Do I like Florida?
Yeah.
Whoa, give me a break. I mean, is Mario Cuomo Italian?
He certainly is.
Well, that answers that question, doesn't it?
He certainly is, but I hear you come from Philadelphia.
Yeah, I do.
Did they chase you out, or did you just want to leave?
No, they didn't chase me out, no.
You couldn't make it up there on the radio station, or what?
Well, I've never tried to work in Philadelphia. I've never worked in Philadelphia in my life.
No?
No. Never applied. Never been asked either.
Oh, by the way, I own a Winnebago.
Uh-huh.
Two of them.
Two of them? Whoa, we got them side by side?
Oh, no, I parked one at Kmart up on 19, and I parked one down at Zares on the other end in Palm Harbor. So
hey, that's
I get the best of both worlds.
Exactly. No matter which end of town you're on, you're not too far away from home.
Oh, I don't want to miss a blue light special,
I wouldn't expect that at all.
So what's the story with your highway system down here? It's a lot worse than it was last year.
Well, yes, it is. We plowed up about 1,400 miles of it over the summer to discourage people from coming down here.
Oh, you're trying to discourage us, huh?
Yes.
Oh, well, we have four-wheel drive vehicles for the snow, so we just come down here and just, it doesn't make a difference to us.
I know. We really do wish that most of you would take off those snow plows before you come down here. The rumbling noise from those damn snow plows in the front of the four-wheel drives is driving us insane.
No, we love to annoy the hell out of you. We bring all that stuff down. Chains on the tires, too.
Uh-huh.
We don't take them off. We bring them down here. It tears the roads up just a little better.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really surprised that you're getting down on us people. The snowbirds don't like us that much.
This is a day of celebration of your return. What are you talking about getting down on?
I From what I've been hearing, it doesn't sound like you want us down here too much.
Well, I don't think you're listening in the proper spirit.
Oh, the proper spirit. What's the proper spirit?
Well, probably Manischewitz if you're from New York.
No, it wouldn't be Manischewitz. No, it wouldn't be. Something
Virginia Dare? I don't know.
In the Gallo line.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, if you're Italian from New York, it's something in the Gallo line. That's You know, where are the good Italian restaurants down here, too? I haven't found any yet.
Well, we have many fine, good Italian restaurants. There's, let's see, there's McDonald's. They serve fantastic Italian cheeseburgers. There's, let's see, there's Mama Wags.
Mama Wags.
Mama Wags. They have an Italian salad bar, an Italian, what the hell do they call it? Antipasto bar that you wouldn't believe. Unlike anything you've seen since you left New York.
Mama Wags, huh?
Mama Wags. Very, very, very popular Tampa Bay Italian eatery. And actually, they're all over the area, too.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, well, they're so popular that just having one or two wouldn't do.
Oh, they have a whole chain of them, huh?
Virtually every neighborhood has a Mama Wags.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Although, unfortunately, during the last windstorm we had, half of the sign was blown down. It just says Wags now, but believe me, it's Mama Wags. Just going and ask.
I'm glad you got all these great tourist tips to tell me. I mean, I couldn't live without you. I really couldn't.
What I would do is I would go into Mama Wags, and if you see a large man behind the counter of color, ask him if you can see his mama.
See his mama?
Yeah.
What other tips have you got to tell me, Bob? How's the fishing?
Oh, fishing's great. Just bring a bag with you. You don't even have to go out on a boat. Just walk up and down along the shores of the bay and pick them up.
I heard that with the last person you were talking to. That's old news, Bob. Try again.
Hey, come on, man. You know, I don't get paid to write this material. I've already, put out at least an hour and a half's worth of dynamite material. You want more?
You might call it dynamite. I'd call it something else.
Hey, it's kept you listening, hasn't it? Kathy, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Hello, Robert.
Hi there.
How you doing?
Oh, great.
I am doing great, too, but I have to tell you something.
What's that?
I don't normally get hot under the collar very quickly or too easily. But there's one thing that bugs the heck out of me. And
be careful, clean up that language for the Lutherans.
The thing about it is that I am from L.A., Lower Alabama. I was born and reared in the South. And ever since I was knee-high to a grasshopper and lived in Florida, all I've ever heard about are these northern people that come down and have a wonderful time in Florida, and then all they do is go back and bitch about it. Okay?
Well, they're the ones who would qualify as brain damage.
Now, wait a minute. You don't see our population going up to New York and Philadelphia for 6 or 9 months out of the year, do you? We stay
not too many people. It is rather unusual for somebody to keep a winter home in Cleveland.
Well, I mean, if it's so bad down here, you hear their complaints. It's terrible down here. The people in the South are rude. The people in the South don't do this. They don't do that. Well, don't come back. That suits us just fine.
Well, many of us it would, but we like to perpetuate their dream that this place would just shrivel up and die if it wasn't for them.
No, I doubt it. Very, very much I doubt it.
I mean, I want to tell you that the entire economy of the Tampa Bay area is based upon 9 people from Wisconsin coming down and sharing one motel room.
Well, your last caller said that he was an entrepreneur and was in Florida to buy property.
Yeah.
But yet he didn't like this area. What the hell is he buying property for?
Good question. Gee, I wish I had thought of asking. Gosh, where were you?
I was waiting for you to pick up on that.
Well, I just, I'm not perfect.
I know.
I do the best I can, Kathy.
In my book, you're far better than perfect. But I mean, you have some one-liners that drop people right, drop their shorts right there. But
come on, I got 4 or 5 laughs out of that guy, and he's sitting there on the phone trying to say, no, this isn't funny.
Yeah, and his Winnebagos.
I wonder if he's heard Don Imus recently,
Have you seen the prices of Winnebagos now? I mean, they're not inexpensive. No. So why is he bringing down 2? As far as
hell, there are motels down here for sale for less than the cost of a Winnebago.
Tell me about it. And where does he park it, no less?
Probably in a motel parking lot.
No, he said he parked it in Zare and Kmart.
Oh, well, yeah.
Now, does that tell you the kind of guy he is?
Well, he probably just wanted to be close to something that reminded him of home.
No, seriously, I've been up north. It's a beautiful time at this time of the year, but take everything else with it, and they can keep it.
Gee, I should have picked up on that right away that he wanted to be close to something that reminded him of home. I could have given him the address of a drug rehab center.
Exactly. But to me, and I am a very easy person to get along with as far as the roads and the people. I have seen people butt in line in the grocery store. And I've never seen that before at this time of the year.
Well, I mean, come on, Kathy, it's in your best interest that they do that, because if they had to wait in line to pay for their stuff, then they wouldn't be able to pay as much money, while they were down here. So this way, if they get in front of you, even if they use a little elbow there, a little physical elbow, just think of it this way, then they'll be able to go out and spend even more money sooner.
Nah, they can all stay up north as far as I'm concerned, and I mean that sincerely. And I wouldn't move away from here for anything in the world.
What are you talking about? Like Pensacola, Apalachicola, places like that up north?
No, I'm talking up north. Well, yeah, but I'm talking up north. I'm talking in the
Tallahassee.
City, New York. No. That's still south. I mean, the people dress up and they wear suits, but they're still from the south,
Well, you mean they're wearing shoes in Tallahassee now?
Yeah.
Son of a gun.
Isn't Martinez there? He's been trying to reform everybody, right?
Martinez wears shoes?
Yeah, sure. If you could find them big enough. Gotta go.
Okay,
Enjoy talking to you. Love your show.
Take
Keep
care.
Up. Bye-bye.
2-0-8. Sammy in Largo. Sammy, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Hello.
Hello, Sam.
Yeah, I'm calling about that guy that was on here a few minutes ago.
The guy that was on here a few minutes ago, yeah.
Yeah. If they want Florida to be like up north, then why in the hell are they coming down here?
To help guide us, along the way.
I mean,
show us the errors of our ways, obviously.
I just don't understand it, because they want to come down here. Do you ever go on vacation someplace that's exactly like your home?
Well, I frequently vacation in Newark, New Jersey. The wife and I are very fond of Newark. We're thinking about buying a condo up there.
Well, I don't know about that, but
we're not gonna rush into this. We'll probably winter up there for 4 or 5 years. Make sure that it's our kind of place before we move there permanently.
Right. Well, did you come down there, or have you lived down here your whole life?
No, I'm from Venezuela.
But I just he said he's counting our football team. Well, granted, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're struggling a little bit.
Yeah, what kind of record would the Jets have if it wasn't for Florida football teams?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
All the college talent goes out of state.
Yeah.
It goes all out of state, and then, hell, it's crazy. It's craziness. Because he comes down here for vacation, it's...
Funny he didn't talk about college football. Do you understand Columbia's having another great season?
Right, well... I don't know, the Hurricanes.
And Vassar, too. The Vassar team is really fantastic this year.
Well, I don't know about that, but I just know that, to say that Florida football and everything is no good, and where's our ice for hockey?
Hey, look, I'll tell you what, I'll put up any Florida college. I mean any Florida college up against City University's team.
Yeah. But I just, he comes down here, all the roads... Pretty soon, if everybody comes down here and wants to change it, we can turn this whole place into another New York. Nobody's going to want to come here.
That's right. Yeah, put in 2-3 more roads, and that's what we've got, New York.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, the next thing you know, they'll be opening up decent restaurants and good clubs and fine stores. Who the hell wants that kind of stuff? Museums,
really? We don't want all that progress down here. I mean,
universities.
This is the South, set your clocks back 50 years.
You got it. People be building nice houses made out of, something besides cinder block. Whoa, we don't need that kind of grief here.
Really?
Take that stuff and keep it.
Then you can't see the sunsets.
That's right.
I mean, if you don't want to see the sunsets, stay up in New York.
You got it.
I mean, look at the trash on the beaches and everything. Do we want that? Go to a red light. Count to 5 and then step on it.
Yeah, what are you talking about, the Hillsborough River? Stepping on it? What?
Well, I just wanted to, say that stay home if you don't like it. Money's not everything, Can we all revolve around money?
Yeah, we can always go back to selling pecan pies and rolling cigars for a livelihood. We don't need these people.
Really? I mean, this is free enterprise down here.
Mary and I have been taking a learn-at-home cigar rolling course now, and we're just about finished with it. We can survive.
Really?
Okay, take care there, my friend.
Hey, you too now.
All right, two of them opening. Rashid Abdul. Rashid, you're on the air at 970 WFLA. Oh, bummer. Oh, man, that's not fair. That's just not fair at all. Okay, let's go to Joe in St. Petersburg. Joe, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
I wanted to discuss this.
Joe in St. Petersburg.
And I'd heard,
Tommy Luke.
Yeah. And I'd heard as after the and I'd heard
Right, okay. Hey, thanks ever so much there, Tom. Rashid Abdul again is no. I'm okay. Oh, Bob in Tampa. Bob, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Bob, I'm just down here. I just get so sick of this type of show. You seem to put it on year after year.
Yeah, once a year, every year. Yeah. That's why it's called annual. You see, that's what constitutes annual, year after year after year, annual.
I know, Bob, but without the Northerners, this place would be a dried raisin. It would be nothing here.
Well, maybe prune.
Well, yeah. I belong to the Maple Leaf Club, and it's an organization.
Well, the Maple Leaf Club, what is that? An organization of syrup producers or what?
Yeah, right. No, it's an organization for us Northerners. We come down here. There's some culture associated with it. There's some class.
Well, wait a second. We have our own organizations down here. You don't have to bring your. Yeah, you could join the Daughters of the Confederacy, the Sons of the Pioneers, the Klan.
Yeah, but Bob, this is strictly for Northerners. Tuesday nights, we have our coin exchange. For those people who maybe they left in a hurry trying to beat that last month's rent up north, they can come down here and convert that money into Canadian money and use it in the vending machines. Except for that bar, of course, that guy has, his electronic stuff.
Yeah.
We'll steer clear of that place.
Have you guys figured out a way yet to beat the gratuity added to the check?
Hey, those places that add it to the check?
Yeah.
No, that's part of the club services. We publish lists of those restaurants that require the tip into the bill. And, forewarned is forearmed.
Are you guys going to give out blank restaurant checks again this year so you can, just fill in your own amount?
That's part of the service, Bob. There's
part
a nominal fee. There's a nominal fee to belong to the organization. If you don't mind, we have our own, camper ground and everything. Is it permissible for me to give directions to these folks to maybe gravitate up to the area?
Oh, absolutely. Of course. I would insist on it.
Go up 75.
Yeah.
Okay, you get to Highway 54.
Up 75 to 54.
To 54. It's not that far out of the way. You keep going maybe 4 or 5 miles, and you're going to come to a dirt road. Very nondescript. We don't want everyone in the world knowing where it's at. When you get to that dirt road, it's the third one to the left. So you're going to be heading north again. You're going to have this good feeling in your body, and you just keep going. And it's going to look like this dirt road is turning into nothing, like you're going through you just keep on going. Take my word for it. Trust me.
Well,
that sounds
like
going.
That sounds like, you're heading into downtown St. Petersburg.
No. This is far away from St. Pete. You can go into St. Pete when you want to go down there. We got the coupon days and everything. We'll give you the coupons and tell you what meals, what restaurants have, their deals and things like that. That's part of the service. But the main thing is that these folks know where the organization is located. You get on that dirt road and you just keep going. It's going to look like the road ends, but you just keep going. There's going to be high grass and everything. You just keep going. And, just about the time that you run out of gas, that's where you're at. You're going to be there.
Okay. They sound like very good directions.
Well, the 54, hang a right, third road, dirt road to the left.
Do you have any 1976 Canadian quarters? That's the only damn one I don't have in my collection.
1976
Canadian quarters, yeah. That's the one with a moose on the back and the picture of a virginal Queen Elizabeth on the front.
Hold on just a second. As a matter of fact, I do.
Could you send it to me? It's all I need to complete my collection. Okay. I've got at least one from every year of my birth clear up to 1988.
Are you Canadian, Bob?
No.
What are you doing collecting the coins? You just taking them out of circulation? You see the value, the potential value down the road?
Well, it's not so much that I'm taking them out of circulation. You see,
I think that's a crime.
I go to the 7-Eleven a lot, and I didn't really want to collect them. But, you know, see, they keep giving them to me, and when I try to give them back to them, they say, sorry, sir, we don't accept those. And so that's how I ended up with them. There's nothing I can do with them.
So, I mean, so what's the problem? They're going to have, from what I understand, the next phase of the lottery down here is going to be coin-operated. And we're telling our people, sock them to them. Just lay them in those machines.
Well, yeah, it's funny you brought that up, Bob, because one of the great fallacies here in the Florida lottery, most people think, you know, that they actually get $32 million in U.S. currency. It's $32 million in U.S., or excuse me, in Canadian quarters. That's why the Florida lottery is so profitable.
No way.
They pay off in Canadian quarters, yeah.
Yeah, but I think if a Canadian wins it, it's given in American.
No.
I'm almost positive. I read that in the bylaws.
If a Canadian gives it, it's given in gold. Or wins it, it's given in gold.
I didn't realize that. We'll have to add that to our next newsletter.
Mm-hmm. But the Canadians don't play it because someone started a vicious rumor that you have to tip if you win.
Well,
so the Canadians never play the lottery.
Yeah, but it's not figured on a percentage or anything. You give out of the goodness of your heart, and, you know, we tell most of our people...
Sir, we're talking about Canadians.
Yeah, I understand that, but it's not a percentage. It's just up to the person's discretion, you know, so you give from the goodness of your heart, and we tell our people to, you know, to just say that they're having heart problems at the time that they win.
Well,
and that way they're not obligated to give any substantial sum.
Well, it's a ticklish situation. But, Bob, I thank you very much for checking in.
Thank you.
Take care at 990. Dave in Palm Harbor. Hi, Dave. You're on the air at 970.
Bob?
Yeah, Dave.
I remember your...
Are you calling from Palm Harbor?
There, about a year ago, and you said it was Wednesday, it was Tuesday?
Dave, are you calling from Palm Harbor?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to get that clear. Yeah.
All right. You made a mistake about half a year ago. You said it was Wednesday, and it was Tuesday, and people went bowling.
Right.
Well, I was riding in my car home from Countryside, and you just said it was 23 after 1. So I called up your man who answered the phone to correct you.
Well, sir, I was giving the time in Ottawa.
Huh?
I was giving the time in Ottawa.
Ottawa?
Yes.
What can I talk about?
What can you talk about?
Yeah.
I suppose almost anything you'd like, Dave.
Politics?
Politics? Okay, Canadian politics it is.
No, Canadian?
Well, yeah, you see, Dave, today is the first day after the full moon, the October full moon. And that is the annual brain damage snowbird return day. It's when they all start pouring in.
I have a little thing I do. I don't want to mention it to them.
You have a little thing?
It's in the flea market, and I run into
Liz Richards
Canadians.
would want to talk to you then.
Hello.
Yeah.
I run into Canadians, and I give them a couple of shirts, and I ask them to send me a provincial.
Yeah.
So, I've not been having success with that.
I've been trying to get a Continental out of my wife.
What?
I've been trying to get a Continental out of my wife.
A Continental? I heard that.
Yeah.
You said Cadillac.
No, Continental.
You're trying to get a Cadillac.
No, a Continental.
Continental out of your wife.
I think a provincial is a Cadillac, isn't it?
No, this is a packet of 7 numbers. You win $1 million.
7 numbers, you win $1 million. And all you have to do is get 7 numbers?
7 numbers, yeah.
And you get $1 million?
Single-digit numbers.
Are they, do they really care which numbers you come up with?
No, you gotta
any numbers, any 7 numbers you want, they give you $1 million?
You gotta have the same numbers on the packet, no.
The same, you have to have the same numbers on the packet as what?
You open the packet and it comes a ticket and you read the numbers off.
Oh, okay.
See?
And all you have to do is read the numbers off and bam, they give you $1 million?
Yeah, you got a good, you see how hard it is for people to hit 6 numbers down here, so 7 numbers is a little harder, I guess.
Well, it's not 6 numbers down here, it's actually 49.
Well, I'm not too unhappy with the snowbirds because I need them for my little business in the flea market. And the Canadians, I need them.
Well, why do you keep going to the flea market if you only have a little business?
I sell T-shirts.
Yeah, but why do you keep going there if you only have a little business? Why don't you do something else so you can get a big business?
I'm retired postman. I'll be 70 soon, and I can't go into big business.
Oh, okay.
I retired.
Stay the hell out of IBM. That's big business. Stay out of IBM. Don't go there.
I retired. I retired with at the same time Reagan came in.
from the post office, and he's taking care of me.
Reagan used to work in the post office?
What?
Reagan used to work in the post office?
No. He came in to work in the White House, and he took care of me. See, I used to be low middle income. Now I'm poor middle income.
Uh-huh.
And this is why I have to do that. Otherwise, I got to go to work in Wendy's or Burger King.
I mean, you know, what kind of a country is this when a fine retired postal employee has to end up standing out in the middle of a drive-in movie on a Sunday morning peddling T-shirts to Canadians?
The flea market is not a drive-in movie.
Oh, it isn't? Oh, most
Can
of them
I
are.
mention it?
Sure.
Wagon Wheel.
What do you think the Wagon Wheel is? It's an old converted drive-in movie.
Wagon Wheel? No.
Yeah, it used to be a drive-in movie.
Thunderbird's an old converted drive-in.
Well, so did the Wagon Wheel. It used to be an old drive-in movie.
No. It was a swamp, I think.
Well, that's what the whole place was.
Yeah. We can't talk politics, can we?
No, not at all. Attention, snowbirds. Be sure to pick up your Q105 Bay Area Funeral Directors bingo card, and be sure to listen tomorrow morning between 8:30 and 8:35 to Cleveland Wheeler on the Q Morning Barnyard for the first in a series of numbers to be called out. All you have to do with your Q105 Bay Area Funeral Directors bingo card is fill in one line up or down or diagonally, and you will have bingo. Debbie in Tampa. Debbie, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Well, hi, Bob.
Hi, Debbie.
I tell you, I am so glad these snowbirds are back.
Oh, aren't we all?
I tell you, it has just been awfully hard on me lately. I mean,
even my naughty parts were tingling this morning in anticipation of their arrival.
I tell you.
Yes.
But, you know, it was so awful because once they left, my family started expecting me home on time. I mean, I couldn't stop at the store, and then the minute I drove in the driveway, they're all like, well, why aren't you here? Why aren't you here, you know?
Well, you know, many of us look forward to this time of the year to carry on illicit affairs because it is certainly one way to pass off being an hour and a half, 2 hours late to your mate.
Oh, I mean, really?
Yeah, I got tied up behind some snowbirds taking pictures on the Howard Franklin.
I know. It's just awful the way, you know, you have to actually be there. But, I tell you, I'm so glad they're back. And, you know, the other thing is used to be able to take an hour or 2 hours going to the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
Forget it. Now they, you know, when the snowbirds aren't here, they expect you in and out in 15 minutes. I mean, it's just...
Well, you could do what many of the snowbirds do, and that is just go in the grocery store and eat right there.
Oh, you know, I never thought of that.
And then that way you can even avoid the checkout line. You just kind of, make a big wide sweep around the checkout line and go out the front door.
You're so right. But
just open up a packet of salami and some cheese, get some bread, make yourself a sandwich right there at the deli counter and eat it.
Yeah, that is a good idea. I'll have to remember that one.
If you get thirsty, go
something to take home.
Well, go to one of those grocery stores that gives out bingo cards.
Oh, yeah, I'd heard about those other ones.
Right, on your way out after you've eaten the food, just ask the cashier for some bingo cards. They have to give them to you, even if you don't make a purchase.
Ooh.
Otherwise, it becomes a lottery, and, it gets real sticky.
That's true. That sounds good. I never thought of that. But I tell you, it's such a relief to have them back here.
It certainly is.
Don't have to get home right away anymore. You can blame it all on the snowbirds.
I mean, I don't know about you, Debbie, but I am sick and tired of going down the beach and seeing nothing but firm, tanned, young bodies. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I look forward to this time of the year to see those varicose veins and those skinny little white limbs.
I tell you, it just makes me appreciate the
people about the young ones.
Oh, I know. But see, when you have the old ones to compare them to.
Oh, yes.
Yes. I mean, it just makes it look so much better.
I guess you get varicose veins from shoveling snow or something because it doesn't really seem to have any age involved with it.
I'm not really sure. I've been down here for almost 10 years now, and I've totally forgotten all that.
Or maybe it comes from picking up large, heavy sacks of Canadian quarters. Maybe that's what gives you varicose veins. If you don't pick them up right.
Yeah, I'm sure that's
makes the veins pop out on your legs.
Yes, I'm sure, because they have to do something to get rid of all that flab underneath the arm. The flabby skin that's there, they have to lift them up to try and get rid of that.
Well, I certainly hope they don't. I look forward to it every year, as most people do. I mean, I just love going into my favorite restaurant and seeing a female snowbird with a sleeveless tank top on, lifting up her arms and the hair and the arm and the flab going back and forth. It's very, very appetizing.
And so bright white.
Right, especially when they come in waving the early bird special coupon.
Oh, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it can take all day just to eat your dinner.
Yes, it can. Several times.
At least. Well, I just wanted to let you know that I, for one, am awfully glad they're back here.
Well, I, for two, am awfully glad they're back here, and I suspect that virtually everyone listening to this broadcast this afternoon is just palpitating.
They should be.
Yes, they should. Because it means that winter is here.
Definitely.
And we all look forward to that.
Oh, of course.
Thank you.
Bated breath.
Thank you, Debbie.
You're welcome.
Take care.